Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I say it, then please do feel free to click off this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And so I just want to give a warm welcome and blessings to all of you who have recently joined my channel and have been watching my videos, commenting on them. You guys are fantastic, and I'm so happy to have all of you enjoying these readings that I'm doing. And so for today's video, we are of course going to be talking about the monthly predictions and outlook for the month of September. I cannot believe it's already almost September. It's just around the corner. I'm super excited for fall. Definitely comment down below if you are also excited for fall this season. So yes, that is what we're going to be doing. And as always, I kind of did something a little bit different because I like to mix things up when it comes to my readings. And so there are multiple tarot decks for each group, and each deck I selected is covering a specific, of course, still general reading area of your life in the month of September. So we're going to be looking at the general overview. We're going to look at your emotional and spiritual well-being. We're going to look at your material world and all aspects related to that, as well as your romantic life in the month of September. So of course, I'm going to be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic. So if you do not like nudity or anything like that, definitely be aware that that's going to pop up in this video if you do not want to see that. Of course, I have a couple different oracle decks that are going to be covering other elements as well, so we're just going to go ahead and dive into it. These are probably going to be longer readings for this video, but let's go ahead and introduce you to the different piles that we have here. So for pile 1 up here, we have the Rose Quartz. For pile 2, we have this Zebra Jasper. For pile 3, we have the Shiva Lingam. For pile 4, we have the Bumblebee Jasper. For pile 5, we have the Carnelian. And for pile 6, we have a green Fluorite. And so definitely take as much time as you need. Pause this video if need be to really concentrate and meditate on the pile or piles that are calling to you. And, use a pendulum if need be, use your own body as a pendulum to really select the correct pile for you. And of course, as always, if there are multiple piles you are attracted to, there's probably a reason for that, since, each one of these is covering specific areas of your life. Maybe one pile will resonate for a specific area while another pile might do the opposite, of course. So, of course, the piles will all be linked down below, timestamps, all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and jump into this. For those of you who picked pile 1 with the Rose Quartz, we're going to go ahead and jump into your tarot cards. So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the general overview for your month of September. And so we have the Queen of Cups. Let's see, maybe I need... All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry about the technical difficulties. So we have the Queen of Cups. We also have the 7 of Swords. And then we also have the 6 of Swords. So looking at these, I feel like for your general kind of overview for the month of September, you're going to be moving away from, I feel like, certain lies and deceptions, whether those are ones that you place on yourself or from other people involved. Because, the 7 of Swords energy is definitely all about kind of being sneaky, of trying to get away with certain things, maybe not necessarily always taking responsibility for your actions. And so, that could represent in any way, whether that's other people, yourself, a certain situation. But with this 6 of Swords, I see it as sort of a progression of moving away from this energy, and really, this could definitely be involved in an emotional area in your life. With that Queen of Cups energy, I feel like that is stopping hiding your own gifts, your own light, really starting to embrace and be more open, or at least finding a situation where you can be more open about your emotional feelings, as well as just possibly psychic powers, because of course the Queen of Cups is a very psychic individual. And this could represent either you, or it could represent possibly a woman who is a water sign, who is going to maybe help you with seeing through this situation. And again, it's all for this purpose of moving forward and moving out of this. So let's go ahead and get more clarity with more cards. So now let's go ahead and look at the cards specifically that I pulled for your emotional well-being and spiritual well-being in the month of September. That might help to clarify the situation. So we have the Two of Wands. We also have, look at that, we have the Six of Swords again. And then we also have the Page of Pentacles. Look at that. That is so crazy. So yeah, this is one of the strongest energies for you in this month, is going to be this Six of Swords. So you're really coming to a realization that a certain situation, and again, it could definitely be very tied to your emotional state, is no longer worth the battle. You know, it's kind of a losing battle. And so you're finally just going to be like, you know what? I'm moving away from it. I'm moving away from this specific person, if it is represented in that way, and I'm moving forward. And so as far as the rest of your emotional or spiritual well-being, I definitely see you beginning to get back on track with your spiritual purpose with that Two of Wands. So you're planning, you're making decisions, because there's lots of options that you can select from. They're all pretty positive. You just have to finally make that decision. Again, that's part of making that decision to move away and head towards something that really aligns with what your goals are, what aligns with you emotionally and spiritually now. And then what that's going to help you sort of start again with this Page of Pentacles, you know, starting to build up again, I feel like, your material world, your material success, you know, you're grounding your health, you're getting back onto focus with that. And it's going to be all about a youthful return to this by this, you know, this action of moving away from certain, again, illusions, lies, deceptions, and really reclaiming, I think, your emotional purpose, even your psychic gifts, your spiritual ideals. And so for the cards to represent your material world, so specifically, you know, your career aspect, maybe your education, family life, friendships, all that kind of elements. So we have the Eight of Chalices. Look at that. We also have the Five of Wands. We have Seven, the Battle Wagon, which is essentially like the Chariot. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So yes, I'm definitely seeing here, again, that is your overall theme, I feel like, so far for your month of September, is this element of finally moving away from things. Because when you have something like the Eight of Chalices as well as the Chariot, you know, this is definitely a big moment as far as career goes with the Chariot. It's victory, it's success, and it's keeping the ball moving. You're working, you're achieving, you're learning balance and control and mastery over all of the elements around you. So positive, negative, masculine, feminine. And so again, with this Eight of Chalices, you're making the decision to move away from something that is no longer serving you, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. It's something you just have to do on your own emotional and spiritual journey here. And so we also have the Five of Wands here. So I can see, you know, maybe people in your life, in your friend circles, your family may not be completely understanding of what it is you're going through, what it is you're trying to achieve. Because again, that Five of Wands is kind of representative of conflicts, of challenges, you know, kind of miscommunication, changes in that aspect. So it's like everybody's trying to speak at the same time, but nobody really wants to listen. And so it's really important for you not to get sort of sucked into those kinds of arguments, because it's not going to lead to anything productive for you. Again, it might be, you might recognize this situation already, and that might be what you're moving away from. Again, I see a lot of movement for your month of September. Maybe there is physical travel involved. And finally, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I see, you know, but even though, you know, I make that mention of maybe family members may not completely understand why it is you're making this decision that you are, I feel like with open communication and more understanding, and really getting your own ball rolling, I think your family situation will improve in that way, and they'll come to a point where they understand what you're doing, because the Ten of Pentacles is all about material success, it is, family heritage, it is, possibly inheritance in that way. And so it's all coming together where your family and the material world are finally balanced and things are positive, and it's like a happy chapter to this. So that is what I'm seeing right there for your material world. As far as friendship situations go, I would just be aware not to get into any arguments with friends in September, because it might be very tempting, and it's really just because of a lot of miscommunication. Maybe even again, since I'm seeing kind of a return for you guys to focus on your spiritual emotional journey, that might be involved with that. Your passions, following your passions. Again, other people might not quite, they don't quite understand what it is you're doing. That's just the element I'm getting, but it will make sense to them once you have achieved exactly what you're envisioning, because you know what it is, but other people might not. And maybe it's important at this time to just keep it to yourself. Maybe not tell other people around you what it is exactly you're envisioning, because they might try to, throw out their opinion, their energy, and that might kind of derail and mess with your process in this. So finally, let's go ahead and talk about the romantic elements. So again, I'll try to read this for both singles, for those who are already in a relationship, and even for those who are not necessarily looking for a relationship right now. So we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Ace of Chalices, and we have Judgment. Wow. So far, you guys have only had 2 major arcanas appear in your month, in this monthly kind of spread that I'm doing here, and that was, of course, the Chariot, and now we have Judgment. And so for what I'm seeing for the for romantic relationships in this month, especially if you are currently single, I see, the offer of love coming in, especially with this Knight of Wands. It could be somebody who is kind of foreign to you. They might come from a foreign land, or it could be something as simple as like another city away from you, or maybe another state. Maybe you're communicating via the internet in some ways, but I see, this person writing in fairly fast, and they're very passionate. They could be a fire sign in that way, or a water sign, Scorpio energy possibly. And so they're very fast moving, they're very adventurous, they're very passionate, and they just go for what they want. They can be maybe even a little reckless, a little hot-headed in that way, but either way, this could represent either you or, again, this other person coming in, especially for singles here. Because then we have that Ace of Chalices, which is a new beginning, especially a new emotional beginning, and it will be obviously very emotionally fulfilling for you, a very passionate connection. And then with Judgment, it is answering that call. This could be maybe something divinely guided, especially I'm picking up on those red ribbons. Maybe you two are, some sort of twin flame or soulmate connection, however you want to label it. I'm not going to get into that, but just a very deep, powerful connection in that way. So yeah, the Ace of Chalices here is ecstasy, the magic of the comb and brush, loving magic crowned by success, satisfaction, festivities, good reasons to be happy in love. So yeah, maybe you're traveling to some sort of festival or some sort of event, and that's how you meet this person for, again, singles. And with that Judgment, it's love at first sight, the magic of sound. Sound changes the level of the spirit, and the unexpected bursts forth to transform a stagnant situation. So yeah, your love situation could have been stagnant for a little bit while now. Maybe you weren't dating. Maybe you're not interested in dating, but especially with that element of sound, maybe you're going to some sort of music festival, a concert, and you just happen to meet this person by chance, and it's just kind of like an instant connection in that way. And again, very passionate, very loving in that way. And, especially when I see this, it could possibly lead to a longer commitment, even marriage. And so going more into looking at this for already coupled individuals, again, I see this as a reigniting of passions, a reconnection in that way. Maybe you two are going to take a trip together, or maybe this is a call in September for you to take a trip to really kind of reignite, again, that element of ecstasy, getting really intimate again in a very loving and, what's the word? I'm looking like slow. Like part of it is going to be fast, but then part of it is like this slow, sensual kind of like touching is what I'm getting off here. And again, just be aware that maybe, if you not currently have children, maybe this could lead to something like that. Maybe this little rendezvous, this little trip. That's just what I'm seeing. And then again, for those of you who maybe are not looking for a relationship right now, again, what I'm seeing is that maybe you will meet somebody and it's really unexpected. Again, it's this Knight of Wands element. It's completely out of the blue. It's an instant kind of connection and it's something you weren't expecting. And so I would say give it a chance if that is what resonates for you. So let's go ahead and set these aside. So yeah, overall, I'm seeing that, again, the elements I'm seeing already with these cards is, movement, moving away from things that no longer serving you, kind of reconnecting to and planning out what it is you want to achieve next for yourself, even if other people don't understand it, and maybe not even getting involved and letting other people know that, because it's just going to cause you can't quite explain it because it's so emotionally and spiritually connected to you, even though it's going to lead to material success. Again, maybe this is, for some of you, you are more on the entrepreneur side or you're starting something like that. So let's go ahead and dive into your oracle cards now. So for your primary, so I pulled this card for your primary spirit guide, guardian angel, however you want to define it. We have faith, humanity, and benevolence. So stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. So with faith here, especially if you guys already have a connection to Archangel Michael, this is definitely a good sign, because with faith, she is, especially, in this specific archetype, she is the twin flame to Archangel Michael. So she kind of has a similar air about her, but more on the side of benevolence, of having faith again in what it is you want to achieve. She's here to help you in that process. Stay calm and breathe. You are a divine being of love who has done so much good in the world. You may be going through personal transformations and feel that you are not getting anywhere, but Archangel Faith is drawing close to guide you beyond the limitations that your ego or fears have created for you. You may be trying to work out whom to trust. See? Yeah, exactly. That is like a kind of an overall element. Who can you really trust? And that might be part of the reason when, if you're thinking about the love connection comes in, you might be a little kind of like thrown off by it. But again, trust in your heart. If you feel it's correct in your heart, then believe in it. And so first, trust yourself. When you do this and recognize that you are made of love, you will attract those who reflect that love and can enjoy true friendships and loving relationships. Know that good is here to stay. So yes, this is all about having trust in yourself first and foremost. And again, that's kind of part of this process that I'm seeing of letting go and moving out of this. Because this is, of course, a lot of sword elements. So that is thinking about your mind, your thinking, your thought processes, how you communicate, and just finally, again, moving away from it, because something in that area has recently not been working out the way you expected. So now we're going to go ahead and look at your primary animal spirit guides for this month in September. And wow, guys, oh, this is crazy. So we have the Hawk Spirit card 32. Let spirit be your guide. And we have card 12, Canary Spirit, sing your own songs. That's crazy. You guys definitely have a very strong air element around you, as well as birds. Birds are your guide. I even just picked up on this bird right here in the Chariot. And so let spirit be your guide. Again, this is all about going back to trust. You need to trust in yourself and in that spirit has your back, that they are guiding you down the right path, even if you don't exactly know where it is you're headed right at this moment. Like, just believe in it, because you have the strength to withstand anything that is coming through your path. Spirit is not going to send you on this path if they don't think that you can handle it. And with the Canary Spirit, I definitely see, maybe some of you are singers or musicians, or, sing your own song. This is all about being your true authentic self. Let your own authentic voice be, sprung forth. It's all about going back to what I was saying with that Queen of Cups, finding a situation, finding people that you can truly express yourself to and really be authentic with. Even, the people who are already in your life, you might need to move away from those individuals and kind of do your own thing for a little while. And then they'll be able to, like, from a distance see, like, oh, okay, that is what you were trying to do. That is what you were trying to achieve. Now I can understand what it is your voice is saying. And so speaking of numbers here, what is standing out to me? We have, 2 7s. We have the 2 6. That is a big one right there. 22 or 21, 20. Roman numerals, man. They're tricky to read. I've gotten better. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about the crystal that might be useful for you guys to use in this month. And so we have the opal. So what the opal says, who needs it? The all black wardrobe set can benefit from black precious opal's bold pop of color and spiritual protection. Not so prolific artists can ride fire opal's burn. So where to put it? General rule: white and blue vibe with the head, and pink vibes with the heart, and black vibes with the lower abdomen. When to use it? When you have something that needs to get moving, a project, a relationship, or an energetic block. Feel all your feels. So yes, that is definitely what I'm seeing. It's like you need to get the ball rolling. You need to take this journey, this travel possibly, moving forward to start again on your journey, especially emotionally involved, because we have the 8 of chalices too. And finally, the last card that I pull is specifically the area in which sort of for your personal development in this month, what you may need to work on. And so we have this card 2, transform the way you see. Again, perception. How are you looking at the world? How are you thinking about yourself? Where maybe you have trust issues. And so let's go ahead and see specifically what this card is talking about. So transform the way you see. If you want to transform the world, start by transforming the way you see it. Pay attention to positive and pleasing things. Do not be distracted by anything that makes you feel sad or hopeless. You observe with your heart and your eyes. Grow in wisdom as you witness the world shaping itself according to the way you see it. Know that wisdom evolves and is not static or fixed. It is time to not only look outside at the world, but also to look into yourself and comprehend the role you play in the events taking shape around you. Let what you observe transform you. Be uplifted by what you now know and about even challenging facts and difficult truths. They are further opportunities for growth and transformation. The girl of, Buho holds the owl, wisdom, and the butterfly transformation on her index finger's power as she gazes on her world curiously and confidently. This also means people are watching you and noticing your courage, good deeds, and personal transformation, and that these qualities will be rewarded. This card appears when a reward, bonus, or notification of approval is about to be received. And so, yeah, again, I feel like that's all going back to what it is you need to work on in this month of, kind of moving away from things, working on your own perception, your own thoughts. And again, the people around you, they will take notice of what it is you're doing. And then from a distance, by seeing you do the actions, it will make sense to them, I feel like. And so for the ritual involved in this card, I'm going to go ahead and hold it up here to the camera so that you guys can read it yourself, especially if you want to go ahead and do this ritual, in the month of September, starting off your September, maybe involved with one of the full or new moons. So there you go. Alrighty, and so what else? Any other last minute messages that I'm getting through here? I feel like the numbers 2 and 12 might be important for you guys as well. Again, have trust. Think about your throat chakra as well as your heart chakra. So I feel like, part of that trust is centered in your heart. Especially, I keep thinking about this romance situation, like especially with that Ace of Chalices. That could be part of learning to trust maybe this person, this individual, this like Knight of Wands energy, whether it is, you know, a male or a female that you're thinking of, or you might meet, you know, they're going to have this strong, fiery kind of masculine energy about them. They're really going to sweep you off your feet and really take you to another place. Especially with, again, the Chariot too. Again, movement. That is just what I'm getting here. I feel like you guys just need some physical movement, some mental movement, especially if you've been feeling stagnant. You know, again, the air, a breath of fresh air. With that Page of Pentacles, you know, I'm seeing the dragon now. Again, that's that fire element. The dragon is sleeping, but you can sort of wake it up again by getting back onto your focus, working on your light. Again, we have the owl reappearing here as well. You know, birds and owls are important for you, as well as butterflies. You know, pay attention to those kind of symbols. Pay attention to the number 7, 6, again, 12, and 2. Pay attention to any Cancers, Scorpios, fire signs around you. Also air signs. Maybe you yourself are an air sign. Dreams, possibly. So yes, that is what I'm seeing for you guys, for my group ones who chose the Rose Quartz. If this reading resonated for you, please do leave a like on this video, comment down below what you thought about it, and, you know, even come back in, you know, the month of September, revisit this video if need be, and let me know how it shapes up. Again, I feel like you guys are just, you're finally going to be moving again, doing something like that, getting back on track out of some stagnant energy, maybe some like some kind of weird situations where people maybe weren't completely trustworthy. Maybe there was weird communication going on in your work center, and you're just maybe, you know, this could possibly be a change of career for you, with especially that 8 of Chalices. Maybe you're moving away from something. Maybe you're going back and you're going to be studying again. Maybe it's something maybe your family will be more accepting of. Again, I felt it going both ways in that. And so, yes, definitely have some fun in September. Again, if you have the opportunity to go to some sort of concert, some sort of event where there's music being played, definitely keep that in mind. You know, especially some place where it's like there's lots of open air sky. Maybe these wheat fields are important, because that could be possibly an area that you're going to meet and connect with somebody, especially romantically. It may not be romantically, but you know, I just feel like that could lead to some important connections for you. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. All right, for those of you who picked group 2 with the zebra Jasper, I'm just going to bring up this stone because I recently got it. It's so cool looking because it just reminds me of a Japanese painting. It's a really neat stone. So let's go ahead and dive into your reading. Of course, we're going to start off with your tarot cards. So for the tarot that I pulled, just for the general overview for your month, let's go ahead and see what we got. We have the Hanged Man, we have the 7 of Cups, and we have the Hierophant. So already we have 2 major arcanas appearing here, and I feel like, you know, you guys are kind of moving in for September into a state of stasis, of kind of stopping and pausing, you know, contemplating a lot of the options before you, because with that 7 of Cups, you know, there's something you're trying to make a decision on, and all the options, you know, all the options either seem really good, or you're very unsure about which options are the good ones, which ones maybe hold dangers, whatever it may be. And, you know, with the Hierophant here, you know, this is traditions. It is, you know, traditional institutions like government, religion, schools, university. And, you know, I feel like you guys are working on your kind of spiritual traditions as well, you know, trying to get a stable schedule for yourself involved here, and you're kind of having to stop and kind of restrict yourself, or maybe, you know, there could be a situation that is restricting you. I feel like it's obviously it's a decision, you know, this decision is kind of holding you back from making a movement, and until you make the decision, you aren't going to be able to move forward and kind of reclaim, you know, your power. For some reason, the hand movement here hand position is really standing out to me. You know, maybe your heart chakra is involved in this, and yeah, I feel like you're waiting for some sort of inspiration, some sort of divine message. It could come in the form of somebody who has, a certain seat of power, a certain masculine element maybe. This hangman is a very Neptunian energy, and so you guys could possibly be a Pisces, or maybe whatever sign is in your Neptune house. I would definitely look it up. There's sites online that you can look up your whole natal chart and, find out what is going on. I feel like in your 12th house, as well as, again, wherever Neptune is sitting, what house it's sitting in and what sign is involved, because I feel like that might help you to get some clarity on the situation that's going on. Let's go ahead and check out some of your other cards as well, see if that helps to clear up what I'm seeing here. So for the cards that I pulled to represent your emotional and spiritual well-being in the month of September, we have the Magician. We also have the Chariot. Wow, guys. And we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, you guys could definitely be a water sign of some sort. I feel like the Hierophant is maybe like a Taurus. Is it an earth sign or is it a fire sign? I can't quite remember, but we have a lot of cup energy going on here. And so, emotionally speaking, I feel like there's going to be some improvement in your emotional and spiritual well-being. I feel like you're getting more connected, through this process of the Hangman, kind of taking a pause to think things over. You're going to be able to kind of free up, and get focused again, kind of relearn all of your elements of your own power. I feel like this is really involved in September of kind of reclaiming your power. And the infinity symbol is really coming up to me here. And, movement in that way, kind of getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to your spirituality and your emotional state. And especially with the Chariot, I see success. I see victory in that sense. And especially, with this particular image of sort of, she's riding across the wave. So I feel like that's finally you rising up out of any sort of emotional situation and being able to ride atop your emotions, not sinking below. This is also a Cancer element. So you guys, again, could be a Pisces, a Cancer, maybe even a Scorpio. Generally, I'm seeing water signs. And so, learning to balance again, working on balancing both the negative and the positive, your light and shadow sides, control, self-control, mastery, movement. I feel like, with these clouds clearing the background, and you're seeing, the castle appearing, I feel like your guys are going to have some sort of kind of inspiration, spiritually, possibly some sort of message coming through. The clouds are clearing. I feel like, yeah, you're going to get something, and it's going to help point you into the right direction for making this decision in this month. So pay attention to any sort of synchronicities and signs. And again, with the Page of Cups, I see, kind of starting again emotionally. This is a very youthful energy. It's reclaiming creativity, kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve, starting again, being, filling up your cup again. Maybe some remembrance, tranquility. It's a sentimental energy. It's very romantic. You have a truly romantic heart, and even when like the world is kind of crazy and going nuts, it's like you want to have that time and that peace to really breathe and take in sensory pleasures around you, really connecting again to, I guess, your emotional and spiritual needs. Yeah, getting still and listening. Understanding your intuition and what it is you believe. So again, I feel like that's part of that Hangman energy. It's like you're getting still in this month to really listen and understand where it is you're trying to direct your Chariot towards. So let's go ahead and also check out the cards that I pulled to represent what is going on in your material world. So this is your like career, it could be education, it could be, friendships, family, health, your home life, all of those kind of things within the material world. And so we have card 11, the Standing Stones, which is justice. And so this is another major arcana appearing for you. We also have the Three of Swords. And then we also have the Three of Chalices. So again, lots of romance going on here, emotional things. And so a lot of major arcanas. You have quite a few of that. So this is going to be an important month for you. As far as career goes, I feel like you know, you're looking for the truth in the situation. You're trying to find balance. You're trying to understand what it is you're going through. There might have been some hardships as far as career goes. You might have had some setbacks. It might have caused some pain in your heart. You're trying to make a decision about where it is you're going. Are you going to return back to what is comfortable, or are you going to move forward into what is the unknown? You know, making that decision to either walk through the door or turn away and go into the unknown. Also, if there was any sort of romantic connections that you had involved with work, you know, maybe that situation hasn't ended so well. But on the upside, I feel like, you know, if there was sort of a separation that was romantic in nature, you know, this has freed you up to make new connections as far as friendships. Especially I'm seeing, you know, these females, so maybe, you know, a stronger female connection, a stronger female bond with somebody, you know, really living it up and enjoying friends, like, you know, connection with your friends, going out, having a good time. Especially if you, like, you've been feeling down, feeling kind of confused. I feel like if you can reach out to your friends, your friend groups, they can help to uplift you, have a good time. And so let's go ahead and also move into what I pulled as far as your romantic connections go in this month. And so I have to already say, I do have no idea what the cards are that I pulled for your romantic situation, but when I was pulling them, like, girl, it was very strong sexual energy. Like, it was pretty intense. Like, none of the other piles had it as intense as you. So let's go ahead and see what is going on. So straight up, we have the Devil. So that's definitely a part of it. We also have the Six of Swords. And we have the Empress. Oh my God, yeah. So again, I will try to read these cards for both singles, for those who are already in relationships, as well as even for those who are not even looking for a romantic relationship right now. So for singles, what I'm seeing, obviously, you know, again, I'm seeing a strong libido right now. Like, I'm seeing definitely a high in sexual energy in this month, especially with the Empress. You're going to feel very, whether you're male or female, you know, very much in tune with your body, with your power. You're going to be really in control of all that. You're going to be feeling very, again, sexually driven, especially with that, you know, the Devil energy. I'm seeing both the masculine and the feminine coming in very strong, finally getting a balance with that, which is interesting because if you chose this stone, this is, you know, a zebra jasper, so it is very good for balancing masculine and feminine, yin and yang, and for the base chakras. I'm seeing, you know, to be aware of maybe a Capricorn in the mix, because with that Devil energy, you know, this could be very wild, untamed. I'm seeing obviously like sex outside for some of you possibly. And so, you know, with this Empress energy, it's invitation, the magic of alphabet. The prerequisite of magic is thought. Once put into action, the idea generates reality. So yeah, if you're really thinking about that, you know, your romance situation, you're wanting to manifest something like that, you have definitely the power to do it. And so be very aware of what it is you're thinking, what you're projecting out there. With the Devil energy, you know, magnetism, liberating orgy. Eros is a grandiose force that, when deviated, becomes dangerous. It risks deception, betrayal, or blackmail. So be very aware of, you know, sexual situations in September. Don't, because I feel like there's a strong connection possibly. Let's go ahead and look at that Six of Swords before I sort of clarify that. Rolling about, the magic of verbena in the brook. So searching for new horizons involves a couple as it involves a single person. Outside of your daily routine lies the rest of the world. So yeah, kind of, you know, I see you guys kind of overall being kind of in a stuck energy, and so needing to maybe break out of routine. That is definitely a possibility on your romance front. And again, it's going to be something kind of, I see this maybe as more of a like a fling connection, not necessarily maybe a stable relationship, kind of playing the field maybe, and kind of just going with, again, the sexual energies that you're going with, you know, following your desire and just kind of going for it. you're not looking to be, I think, tied down. If you're single, you're enjoying your own independence, your own sort of luxury. You want what you want and you're going to get it when you want it. But on that side, you need to be aware of just how much you give into it, because with that devil energy, it can be, very intoxicating. It could lead to addiction. It could lead to entrapment even. So just be aware, because again, it's that orgy element. So maybe, be wise about how far you dive into that. Now, as far as those who are already in relationships, again, I'm seeing a very positive, fruitful energy, especially with that Empress. So be aware, that's fertility. So if you're not wanting to get pregnant or something, be aware of protection, because I see it, again, high sense of sexual libido. So really wanting to go at it, almost like what came to mind was like rabbits. So just be aware of that. If you're already in a relationship, again, there might be a temptation to even, again, this is a general reading, so this might not apply to anybody, maybe even wanting to delve into something like a threesome, maybe playing around with ideas like that, because again, that devil energy, maybe even like experimenting with sex toys or something. So just be aware of how, have a lot of open communication with your partner. Make sure that you're not pushing any certain boundaries. Again, searching for, new horizons, higher horizons, experimentation, exploration. Again, maybe trying out outdoor sex. That's definitely coming up here. But feeling very fruitful, I think. Very abundant, especially that feminine energy. Masculine energy coming in very strong and dominant as well. Okay, and then as far as those who are not necessarily looking for a romantic relationship right now, again, it might be a situation where your sexual libido is at a height for some reason in September, so you might be tempted to, again, try something out, just have sort of a quick fling with somebody and then kind of cut it off, but it might be hard to, because maybe it becomes an addiction. So just be aware of that. Again, I feel like definitely embrace this Empress energy, feel good about what it is you're doing. Again, that's absolutely no judgment if you want to do something like that, and I feel like, especially if that is what you're being called to, go for it. Just be aware of how much you give into that energy. So yes, let's go ahead and move on now to your oracle cards. So I pulled a card to represent the primary sort of spirit guide, angel, protector that you have around you in the month of September. And we have Green Tara, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitations. Trust. So yeah, that's kind of coming in, I think, in your cards here. That need for truth, of karma, coming back around to certain situations. Again, with that Three of Swords, I feel that as like cutting ties with certain things, even with that Six of Swords, you're moving away from certain situations. You're looking for a brighter horizon. You're trying to make a decision on something because there's so many options around you. And so with that, you just need to trust in yourself that you're moving in the right direction, and that through everything that you are protected. So even in like going back to this romantic situations, if you're wanting to have like dalliances or whatever with, somebody new who you don't really know that well, I feel like even in that situation, you will be protected, especially if you're working towards that, maybe using crystals, use actual protection, people. But yeah, move beyond limitations. That's what this Hangman and the Magician is. You've been kind of stuck again, I feel like. And so you need to kind of embrace that Magician energies and move beyond the limitation. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing in this card. Your third eye might be very activated at this time, I feel like. So yeah, you are safe. Protection is all around you. The worst is behind you, and you're ready to move beyond the challenges that were set out for you. Yeah, I definitely see that with, the Justice card and the Three of Swords. You know, cords are being cut between you and your past so that you can feel energetically clear and aware. Don't worry about recalling fearful experiences. They aren't going to recreate now. Just acknowledge them and leave them behind so you can step into a space of spiritual and personal freedom. Green Tara has placed a force field of complete love and acceptance around you. She is here to tell you that you no longer need to build up walls around your heart, and that it's safe to trust that what you feel and who is in your life today. So yeah, kind of similar to, in some ways, to the last group about this need of trust. Again, I feel like, yeah, trust in your own power. Know that you are protected, that you got this. Even if you've had some sort of heartbreak with the Three of Swords, you've had to cut ties in some sort of situation, especially in your material world, like, you are moving out of it. You're going to reclaim yourself. You're going to move out of this Hangman energy. You had to be in that energy, I feel like, just to sort of heal from this situation and kind of understand, like, okay, I have options. How am I going to move forward with them? And I feel like it won't be too hard for you to figure out how to move out of that. So let's go ahead and also look at the card that I pulled for your primary animal spirit guide for the month of September. And look at that. We have the Dragonfly Spirit card 22. Yeah, speaking of that, let's go ahead and look at so we have a 7. We have 12. We have 7 again. So 7 might be a significant number for you. We have 11. We have 3 more than once here. Actually, we have 3 3s, so that might be an important number for you guys. 333. Look out for 333 synchronicities, as well as 22 or 222. So with this Dragonfly Spirit, it says truth transcends illusions. Be aware of dragonflies around you, I feel like, as well, because you might be seeing a lot of them. They might be messages coming through when you see them. And so I feel like this is just, again, moving past illusions. That's Hangman and this sort of 7 of Cups energy, because it's like that 7 of Cups, you're really in your head, you're in your mind, you're thinking about all these options, and they're kind of like illusions. They're like dreams. It's all those possibilities, and it can be very alluring to stay in that energy, to be kind of in that imaginary world. But you kind of have to realize that, you know, the truth of the situation is going to transcend that, and you're going to understand by following your heart, or what is true in your heart. You're going to know which option, which, you know, illusion is actually the truth. What is actually the road you're supposed to go on. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, the Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that are coming seemingly out of nowhere. That is the Hangman energy. So this might be a call for you guys in September. If you're feeling like you're stuck in this energy, take more time to meditate and to even channel things, to connect to the higher realms, because that is it's what's going to help you to kind of see through the illusions. I'm also seeing a lot of green here, so this is having to do with your heart chakra a lot. So let's go ahead and also look at the crystals that I pulled that might be useful for you to use in the month of September. So we have 2 stones, actually. We have the sapphire and we have diamond. And so sapphire, who needs it? Students of ancient wisdom. Where to put it? Right on your right middle finger, the finger of Saturn, Sapphire's associated planet. When to use it? When resentments are doing more damage to you than to those you're holding them against. Enlist Sapphire to call forth that old soul that resides within, i.e. the wisest part of you who couldn't possibly care less about what anybody else thinks of you. Find your tranquil place. So again, that's what this Hangman energy, it's meditation. It's finding that tranquil place that you can reconnect with yourself, your wisest wisdom, and not caring about what, somebody else may have said with this 3 of Swords kind of energy I'm getting. And then with the diamond, who needs it? Who doesn't? And so where to put it? Wherever you'd like to bling, I feel like that's definitely that Empress energy, really blinging yourself out, feeling good, treating yourself, that self-care. When to use it? When you just got to keep it icy. When you want to make your intentions perfectly clear, Magician energy. When it's time to beam your own unique light through the darkness for all to see, own it with diamond, shine your brightest. So yeah, I feel like that is what you guys are moving into. It's like you guys need to make the choice to really shine your most authentic self, to really just be unapologetically you. And I feel like, again, that's kind of linked back to this sort of sexual energy I'm getting off. Like, if you are a sexual being, do not be ashamed of that and just embrace it. Just go for it. As long as you're being safe and protected, like, just you do you. Like, live it up with this 3 of chalices. You know, if you get an invitation to go somewhere, do yourself up as nice as possible. You know, feel your most authentic self. Live, you know, that extra life, as Brad Mondo would say. Yeah, that's what I'm definitely getting off of this. It's like, you know, even with that chariot, move forward, be victorious. You know, don't be apologetic about anything that you feel, because it's like, it's nobody's business what you think or how you shine. It's like, again, illusions, the truth will come out. You know, if people try to throw shade at you, karma's got your back. Green Tara's got your back. All of these energies do. So just live it up. Even if you're stuck right now and you're trying to figure out what it is you're moving forward to, it's like, in the moment, just have fun, because the answers will come out. You know, again, the illusions will clear, the fog will clear, and the path before you will be revealed. And so let's go ahead and move into the last oracle card that I pulled for you. And this one is specifically about what it is you need to work on in September as far as, you know, your personal development goes. And so we have, look at this, we got card 36, which the magic you seek is inside of you. Let it flow. Again, that's what I feel like this is. That's so the Magician, that's the Hangman, it's the 7 of Cups. It's like, you know your power, Empress. Like, you know your magic, and you just need to embrace it now. Don't let anybody hold you back in that regards. It's like, you have the power to do exactly what you want. So let's go ahead and read this card. You know, this is a lucky card. When the card is drawn, a bonus appears in your life and key events and situations turn in your favor. Remember, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Have you taken all available steps and made all authentic efforts to be prepared for that which you seek? The witch holds her hands gently over the crescent moon, a potent symbol of new opportunities and fresh potential. Her cupping fingers allow energy to flow unhindered. The raven sits upon a branch, pausing in its journey from the underworld to consider a new adventure. Leaves of gold emerge from the branches. They signify comfort and beauty after periods of abstinence or loss. The witch knows herself and is not afraid of her potential and opportunities to grow and learn. In the moonlight, she is willingly steps to the edge of the cliff and leaps, knowing that the natural way of the world will catch her and she will land exactly where she should. Exactly. That is your guys' energy. It's time for you to just be you, do your thing, and don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. That's just what I'm getting off this. It's just like, September can be a really good month for you as long as you remember that you embrace who you are completely and don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. So for you guys, because with these cards there are specific rituals, so if you want to do this ritual, and look, meditation magic, that's the Hangman right there. So I'll go ahead and hold on this for a little bit so you can read this side. Of course, it continues on the next page, so give you guys another second to read that. If you need to pause, write this down. Let's go ahead and flip the page. So give you some time to read that. Again, pause this if you need to read it and write down any information if you want to do this ritual, because especially, you know, you got witch, so I could definitely see you guys who picked this pile. You know, not only could you be maybe a water sign, but you could also, you know, have natural magic about you. You could be a witch. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are like, you practice Wicca or anything, but because there is a difference between, you know, being a witch and then practicing Wicca, because Wicca is the religion, and being a witch is a practice. It is a process like that. And so you can really have any religious belief and still be a witch, because again, it's about practice, it's about manifestation, it's all of those elements. So if you're curious about that, I would definitely encourage you guys to read up about that. I'm still learning a lot about it myself. And so yeah, let's go ahead and give this one last look over to see what other messages maybe are coming through. Pay attention to blue. I feel like, especially this really electric blue, maybe you'll see that out of the corner of your eye. I know I recently did. That might come as messages. Again, I'm getting Like, you guys have a very strong sexual energy about you at this time, and so I would say don't fight it, embrace it. It's part of your magic. Maybe even research sex magic if that is of interest to you. Again, new emotional beginnings happening, getting more control over your own spiritual gifts. You might be very, very good manifestors, so be aware of what you're thinking, of what you're doing. You know, take time to meditate and work through, again, those kind of illusions so that you can find the truth of the matter, especially with these two cards right here. Again, if you've suffered any kind of heartbreak, if you've been kind of, again, that came up, I think, with the Witch card was the abstinence. I feel like maybe you guys have been very kind of not involved romantically with anybody for a while, if that resonates, and so now you're coming in the time where it's like you just want to kind of let loose, and I think Spirit is kind of encouraging you to do that with the cards that I'm seeing. Just be aware of sort of, you know, who you're deciding to give your energy to, especially in that way, because again, that's kind of a very you make energetic connections and ties when you're engaging in that, so just be aware, like, again, if it was sort of a spur of the moment thing, make sure you cleanse your energy, your body afterwards, just so that you don't hold on to maybe this other person's lingering energies in your auric field kind of thing. Because again, you have a very strong aura, I feel like, around you. And people are going to be very attracted to that. You're going to be very magnetic in this month. So be aware of that. Be aware of who approaches you. Make wise decisions in that. Use your innate wisdom and your intuition, because you have it strong. You have a strong intuition and power about you, and it's going to be blazing this month in September. So embrace it. Shine your brightest. All right. So that is the reading I'm seeing for you guys. If this resonated, please do leave a like on this video. You know, comment letting me know what you thought about it. And if you want to come back in the later days of September to review this video and let me know how it's shaping up, because I'm very curious, you know, is this resonating? But okay, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. For those of you who picked group 3 with the Shiva Lingam stone, let's go ahead and dive into your cards for the month of September. So we're going to go ahead and start with the tarot, of course, starting off with your general cards that I kind of pulled for the outlook of September. And so we have the 10 of Wands, we have the Emperor, and we have the 4 of Wands. So we have one major arcana card, and we have 2 wands. So strong on that fire energy. You guys could definitely be maybe an Aries, or maybe you deal with an Aries in this month. And so what I'm seeing is you're going to be lifting off some of the weight of responsibilities in this month, because with that 10 of Wands, it's like you've been working really hard, you've been taking on a lot of responsibility, you're kind of overworking yourself, and you need to remember this Emperor energy, because the Emperor, you know, he has very strong, powerful energy about him. He is power. And so the thing though with the Emperor is that he understands how to work his goals, how to achieve his goals, and how to delegate tasks to other people. Like, he knows how to work with others, I feel like, in that way, especially on the positive side with the Emperor energy. Like, he's not conceited in that way. Like, he knows how to work with others and to, you know, select people to do the job that best suits them to, you know, achieve the right amount of things. You know, he understands, you know, his strengths and his weaknesses, and he knows exactly how to apply his power to the right things. So I feel like that's something you guys are learning in September. It's like you've been overworking yourself for too long, and now it's time for you to kind of like understand, like, yeah, you have this power. You are the Emperor. But even as the Emperor, you don't have to do all the work yourself. You can rely on others, the right people, because you have that wisdom. You know who is the right person or the right people to rely on to achieve, you know, a certain task. So don't be afraid to ask for help, because it's not diminishing your power. You're actually exercising your power more so when you learn this. And so also on that front, I feel like, you know, by doing that and working on that, it's going to free you up to have more enjoyment in the month. Because with that 4 of Wands, you know, I see this, it's kind of a celebration card. It's party, it's reconnecting with friends, with families, especially for a certain event. So like a graduation, a birthday party, an anniversary, a wedding, maybe even a physical wedding. Especially, it'll be interesting to see what other cards I pull up for you guys to see if maybe this is related to you or maybe another person in your life, a certain situation, because of course, this is commitment. It is bonds, it is promises, it is spiritual connections. Passion, it's all coming through. You are a very passionate group. You're very hardworking, I see. So let's go ahead and see what other cards I pulled for you. So these are the cards that I pulled as far as your spiritual and emotional well-being will be in the month of September. And so we have the 9 of Cups. We got the 9 of Pentacles. Are you kidding me right now? And we have the 7 of Cups making a reappearance. And so already what really stands out to me is both of these 9s. I feel like that is part of this process of sort of, because we have the 10 of Wands. So that's kind of the ending chapter of that process of you guys coming to this realization. And this is kind of part of building towards that. For your emotional well-being, I see like, success is coming. Wishes are being fulfilled. You're feeling very good. You're going to be finally enjoying luxury, really embracing your emotions, your spirituality. And with that 9 of Pentacles, again, this is feeling very good, feeling very well in your own independence. Even when there's a lot of decisions to be made, of choices with that 7 of Cups, I mean, there's so many possibilities, and, there could be kind of a inner conflict there in that, part of you is sort of this crazy dreamer who wants to go up to this, high citadel, while another part of you is very practical and wants to do, the tried and tested way of how to get there. And so I feel like just kind of taking a moment to breathe and to just kind of trust that either way, you're going to get where you're supposed to go. And also with that 9 of Pentacles, I feel like, there could be some stronger connections, a certain balance emotionally coming in, especially, since you picked this stone with the Shiva Lingam. Again, it'll be interesting to see what other cards we pull up later on in this reading. This is the balance of the masculine and the feminine. It's also very twin flame related, and I feel that as well. Coming through with this, a deeper sort of maybe soulmate connection, maybe soul family links emotionally. Maybe you haven't physically met these people yet. Maybe it's just sort of a spiritual connection in the spirit realms. But yeah, I definitely see on your emotional and spiritual front, wishes coming true, manifesting very well. So just keep kind of working on your doing, even if you have sort of a little confusion about, what cups are the right for me. I feel like you guys are very dreamy. You're very, you have these dreams, these ideas in your head, and sometimes you can get kind of caught up in them because they're so wonderful that you kind of forget to stay grounded and on that practical side. So just be aware of that. So let's go ahead and also look at the cards that I pulled as far as your material situation goes. And we have these next 2 sections. There is a lot of cards going on that fell out. So as far as your material world, so this is talking about career, it's talking about education, physical health, family, friendships, all that kind of stuff. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 4 of Wands again. Look at that. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have 8, the Crone, which is essentially strength. And then we have 3, the Earth Mother, which is the Empress. Wow, guys. So what I'm seeing here is that obviously on your material front, there's going to be a new beginning. The Ace of Wands is passion, it's spirituality, it's your work, it's all of that, and it's a new fiery beginning. In that way, you're going to really be embracing, and you're just going to be going for it. This is the just do it energy. Just go for it. If you have an idea of concept, just go for it. Follow your passions. And with the 4 of Wands appearing here twice, definitely strong fire energy, possibly a Leo as well as an Aries. I'm also seeing, maybe a new partnership as far as your career goes, and really celebrating, having a very abundant table when it comes to your career. Also with the 7 of Wands, I'm very curious to see what the 7 of Wands in this particular deck says, because I'm getting a very different energy off of this particular card with the imagery versus what traditionally the Seven of Wands says. So what I'm getting off this card is kind of finally relaxing, like putting down the boundaries, you know, sort of setting the wands up onto the shelf. You know, they're there if you need them to defend yourself at some point. They're there, but you don't always need to be on the defensive. Like, that's the energy I'm getting off this particular card for some reason right now. Also, for some reason, the number 5 just popped out to me because it almost looks like 5s along here. So let's go ahead and just double check what this card is talking about in this particular deck. Yeah, so overcoming challenges, beating the odds, trusting intuition and instinct, maintaining self-confidence, success, advantage, keeping problems under control methodically, pushing for one's own ideas, facing and managing issues as they appear. So yes, it is sort of a different, slightly different interpretation, but not really. Like, I feel like this is a way more positive Seven of Wands, and also we have 2 7s coming up here again. So I feel like, you know, just trust in your ideas, you know, trust that you can overcome whatever challenges. I feel like, you know, as far as your material world goes, it's going to be very successful. You're going to have good health. I feel like, again, you're very abundant because you have both the Queen of Pentacles and, you know, the Earth Mother. So very fertile ideas coming in. So, you know, the 7 of Cups, embrace that energy because there's a lot of ideas flowing through your mind. And those can lead to some really good business ventures for yourself. I feel like, you know, trust, have courage, have strength, so much strength, and just, you know, you can handle whatever comes your way, especially on this front. Again, I feel like possibly partnerships are coming up for you here in the future. And again, Queen of Pentacles and the Earth Mother, very nurturing. You know, maybe some of you could possibly be birthing children. Maybe that's what this 4 of Wands, maybe there's the birth of a child happening and you're going to be going to that event. Yeah, I feel like it's very, very positive on that front. Again, you're kind of getting over this I need to do it all myself kind of energy and finally finding the right partnerships for your moving through your business. Again, I feel like you guys are a very business savvy kind of group who chose this stone and this particular pile. So let's go ahead and also now dive into the romance section of this reading. So again, I'll try to read this for both, you know, singles who are looking for relationships, for those who are already in a relationship, and also for those even who are not quite looking for relationships. But you never know. You might be surprised. So we have quite a lot of cards here. So we have the 9 of Wands, some more Wands energy coming through. We also have the 2 of Chalices, see, partnership. We also have the 10 of Swords. So we have another 10 appearing. We also have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. Okay, I'm really seeing a theme here. Yeah, we have the 3 of Swords as well. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing a story coming out here. So let's talk about this. Again, this might not resonate for everybody involved who picked this reading, but again, I'm just going to read it how I see it. So let's talk about this 3 of Swords and this 10 of Swords real quick. So with these particular 2 cards, how I'm reading it is, for some of you, maybe you were in a relationship and you found out that maybe that partner was cheating on you. There was some sort of bad breakup here, I feel like, and you know, it left you really sad. It was the ending of that chapter. It could have been a very long-standing relationship, maybe even a marriage for some of you, and you know, it ended pretty harsh, and it left you kind of, you know, sad. let's just put it that way. I feel like. So let's go ahead and read. And both of these are sword energies, so it's definitely, it was very mentally draining on you, I feel like, if this is resonating. And so, you know, with the 3 of Swords, this is the element of pinching, the magic of fire and salt. You must call attention to disagreements and incompatibilities before finding the courage to end a relationship that is now empty. So this is a call that maybe some of you who are currently in relationship, it's no longer what it was. You know, it's maybe, your partner, hasn't been satisfying you in that way anymore. And so, but before necessarily breaking off ties with this relationship, it's really important to have open communication first and kind of discuss it and see if you guys can mend the situation. If not, again, I feel like this is for some of you who were in this relationship, it ended already. For some of you who are currently maybe in a relationship, this could be maybe the situation, and maybe you have a lot of fears and worries about if maybe your partner is cheating on you or something like that. And so it's just really important to don't necessarily jump to conclusions. Have, communication first. Sit down and talk with your partner, and get, if there's disagreements, if there's fights, discuss it, figure out what is going on, and see if you guys still align, emotionally, physically, sexually. It's like, just have communication, figure out what's going on there. Now, as far as this 10 swords go, it's squeezing, the magic of the tears. Even pain can be transformed into power. You must flee from emotions. You mustn't flee from emotions. But rather use them to find the true essence of our desires. So again, I feel like even if you've had a bad breakup, don't fight against those feelings, embrace them and just let them happen so that you can reclaim your own power. Because again, you had that Empress energy. We have these other cards that I'll be getting to in a second. You guys are a very strong, powerful group. So it's like, if you had a breakup or something, it's not the end of the world. Because you can still, you're still moving forward. You're still chugging forward. Like that situation, it didn't stop you. Again, I feel like for those who are already in a relationship, it's like, if there's emotional issues happening, again, discuss them. Don't flee from them. Don't flee from the situation or these emotions. Transform it into power, courage. Have courage in the situation and discuss things. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to start a fight about it. But you can just, again, you need an open discussion here. And also, interesting enough, both of these cards are kind of talking about pinching and squeezing. So I feel like maybe that's kind of representative of maybe for some of you where this is resonating, the relationship is kind of like that. Maybe you're feeling kind of restricted, or, there's some pain involved. Like, I don't know. However that resonates for you guys. It's kind of an interesting case. So let's go ahead and move on to these other cards that I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and talk with this 9 of Wands here. So again, I feel like this situation is not going to resonate with everybody, but just I'm going to throw it out there just in case, because it's what I'm seeing. So with the 9 of Wands, this is caressing. So the magic of the 3 little birds. When a situation is suspended or blocked by doubt, you must hurry to resolve it because it cannot go on forever. So again, I feel like for those who are already in a relationship, this is kind of tied to this. There's some sort of maybe blockage in the relationship. And again, it just comes back to needing more open communication, expressing desires, I feel like, in a more open and comfortable way. And as far as those who are single, who maybe have had this rough breakup, this is all about moving towards partnership. Definitely, because we want to talk about these. But so, don't doubt your own beauty, your own strengths. Like, you are desirable, even if this person, the situation made you feel like you weren't. Like, that is their issue. It's not you. You don't have to hold on to those feelings. Resolve it and continue on. Be aware of birds, I feel like, as a sign. We have a bird here in relation to that Ace of Wands, which is a very strong, if we're talking about sexual energy, like that is the just do it kind of energy. So moving on to this 2 of Chalices, and then the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Again, I feel like, I mentioned in the material world and career-wise or education, I feel like there's some partnership coming up, and it could just be a platonic partnership, but, we had the Queen of Pentacles appearing here, and the Queen of Pentacles is appearing here as well. So I feel like this definitely could represent you. And this partnership could possibly turn into a romantic one, because with that 2 of Chalices, that is literally partnership. It is union. It is sort of that love at first sight. In this particular deck, it talks about involvement, the magic of the scarab, tenderness, affection, attraction, affection, and collaboration. You can seduce by leaving yourself open to seduction. So again, this is, I feel like, with that Seven of Wands, letting down the walls, being more vulnerable, opening yourself up to possibly this person, because again, they're going to ignite your passions. I feel like, again, for singles, for those who are already in a relationship, work through this issue, and then you guys are going to be able to find a stronger union that is more affectionate, it's more tender, and it's more honest to what it is you both are wanting to achieve for yourself. It's all about, again, letting the walls down and being vulnerable. Then when we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, I see this as sort of an equal give and take. Again, it's very much related to even the stone that you guys picked for this group with the Shiva Lingam. Masculine and feminine, both are being equally worshipped and pursued. So with the Queen, of Pentacles, this is talking about coolness, the magic of the bay leaves. You must fight coolness and convince your partner to be generous, both sentimentally and materially. This will bring serenity, safety, and sincerity into the couple. So again, I feel like this is representative of both of you. This is this partnership. You're both, whether you're male or female, one of you is going to represent the King of Pentacles, the other is the Queen of Pentacles. So make sure that, both of you understand that, like, nobody is sort of below the other. You're both equals. And so be treated as equals in both situations. So if your partner is giving something to you, you should give the same back in return. Equal partnership, this balance I'm seeing. And then with the King of Pentacles, this is referencing fear, the magic of the white dove. Fear increases the distance. Pursuing your partner will do no good. Happiness is born of a mutual effort to move towards each other. So there's this whole entire theme going on here, I see, where it's like, whether you're in a relationship or you're not, it's really important that moving into the next one or moving into the next phase, that you have very obvious and open communication with each other in order to return to a certain balance. Again, that's the Shiva Lingam. You might want to work with this stone even, to bring balance to both the masculine and the feminine, and you'll have equal give and take so that you guys can get back into your perfect union and balance and partnership, working together to build something, not even just on the sexual front, but also in the material world as well. Again, partnership, union, marriage even. I'm seeing that. Two very powerful, strong people. Let's see, what else am I getting? For those of you who are not necessarily looking for a romantic relationship, I see that maybe a lot of that has to do with past experiences with relationships that went bad, and now you're just you're looking for a partnership that, in the future here, that is going to be more fulfilling on all fronts, both in the material world as well as the emotional one, and also with passions. It's all about, you need to work on, kind of releasing, I feel like, again, those boundaries, those walls. You need to have vulnerability. The vulnerability is what will bring you closer together for some of you, as well as for attracting, the partner that you really want, who's going to fulfill you and have that balance, worship you in that way, having equal balance. That's what I'm just getting off this. So let's go ahead and now move into your oracle cards, because I feel like I've been talking too long on this front. So for the primary spirit guide, angel, protector that you have for the month of September, we have the Divine Director. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So yes, definitely trust, I feel like, again, be aware of symbols, synchronicities that are coming through, because they're all from the divine, pushing you towards your purpose and for your greatest good. So let's go ahead and see what else this card has to say. Divine intervention is taking place at this time. What is occurring in your life is providing a real learning curve for your soul. You are becoming aware of a sense of purpose in your life. It gives you a sense of joy. It's something that brings you pleasure rather than something you have to work for. Yeah, that's totally that 10 of Wands energy here. It's like you're realizing that, you know, your wishes are being fulfilled. You're having all these great ideas, and now you can, you know, pursue those things. You don't have to constantly be working at something that no longer is fulfilling you. I feel like this divine intervention is going to be cutting away things that no longer serve you, especially with that 3 of Swords and that 10 of Swords. Like, things that no longer serve you, they will be cut out. Know that your career can complement your purpose, but not define it. But the path you are on at this time is right, and the universe is encouraging you to move forward. Yeah, that is like a new divine beginning is coming through with you with this Ace of Wands, and it's going to help you with your career situation as well. So as far as your animal spirit guides for the month of September, we have card 48, Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind, and we have the Grasshopper Spirit, take a leap of faith. There you go. Exactly. That's that Ace of Wands. You know, it's time for you to take a leap of faith. If you have an idea, a concept, you know, something that is really igniting you, like, go for it. Have that courage, have that strength, and, you know, start from the beginning. You know, take your time, have that youthful sort of thoughts about it with that porcupine spirit. Again, I feel like that's also lowering your quills, you know, lower the defenses and just go with the flow. You know, don't be so resistant and feel like you have to control every single element, because, you know, spirit is here to throw you some kind of curveballs to shake things up, and it's for your betterment. It's going to help you understand where you're moving. You know, adapt to a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. So yeah, you guys might be a group who don't particularly like surprises, especially with, like, you know, that strong earth energy that I'm getting off with, like, the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. But also you have a lot of that fire element as well. So, you know, you like to be in control, though, so surprises can often, you know, throw you for a loop, but it's something that you need to kind of embrace. You know, I feel like this is very much the Fool energy coming through. You know, take that leap of faith, start again, just go for it. Again, just do it energy with that Ace of Wands. So for your crystal that might be useful for you to work, again, I strongly feel like maybe if you are attracted to this pile because of the stone with the Shiva Lingam, you might want to use that, especially as far as your romance front goes. But the other stone, just overall for September, that might be useful for you is ametrine, which is a combination of amethyst and citrine. So who needs it? The chronically indecisive Libras. That's kind of that 7 of Cups energy. Where to put it? Wherever you do your best thinking, i.e. the office or the bathtub. When to use it? If a deadline is on the horizon and you need a big idea, if you can't decide on something, swipe left or swipe right. Call on ametrine, and remember, either way, everything is going to be amazing. Make your big dreams your big life. Exactly. I mean, that totally wraps up the energy that I was getting off a lot of your cards with that 7 of Cups, but also with, you know, you have so many cards here that are showing abundance and wish fulfillment, as well as, of course, you know, endings of some sort. And it's all for, if you can't make a decision, just go with the flow and trust that, you know, if you have a dream, just follow it. And don't worry so much about all the steps in between, because those things will work itself out because you're being divinely guided. So just take that leap of faith. And finally, for the final card for you guys that I pulled, it is, it is for your personal development for the month of September, so things you might need to work on and know. We have card 20, Oblivion. Open your arms. Again, this is all about letting down your defenses. Be open to the surprises, to what the universe wants to give you. You know, you don't need to do all the work yourself. You know, Spirit recognizes how much work you put in and they want to help you. So give them a chance to sort of step in and like, hey, we can help you with this, as long as you just kind of like chill, breathe, and, you know, let us help. You know, I feel like you guys are kind of a workaholic group as well. So let's go ahead and read what this Oblivion card is about. Are you blind to the gifts around you? Do you tend to cut your nose off despite your face? There is something beautiful and useful in dark reflection and sorrowful emotions. That's that 10 of Swords and that 3 of Swords right there. But these same emotions turn ugly when they rot and fester to become self-pity and martyrdom. The flowers are waiting for you when you are ready, but do not let them die. Do not let everyone know what is going on in your head. It is time to keep up appearances. There is great beauty and gifts around you, but you are turning your back to them. Be brave and rise above the section of self-pity. Avoid wallowing in indulgent sorrow. You have inflicted enough self-suffering. The girl stands in a pool of water. Her emotions are physically manifesting. The water is reflecting the moonlight, but it grows stagnant. It needs to swirl and move. Her arms are folded in resistance. She is blocking the peace and fulfillment that she yearns for, and yet feels she must deny herself. The petals are starting to fly away in the wind. Do not miss your opportunity because you are wallowing and feeling sorry for yourself. Open your arms and receive the gifts waiting for you. Turn your face to the sun and let the shadows fall behind you. So that is the message that is coming through there. Definitely keep that in mind, especially if that resonates for you guys. And I feel like on some levels, it probably does. And so with these cards, there are specific rituals for you guys to do in relation to the card that you get. So I'm going to go ahead and show that up on screen. Take your time, pause so that you can read it. Maybe take note, write down some notes about it, and, do the ritual if you feel called to help you with this process. Sorry about that, guys. My phone started ringing. Okay, but as I was saying, so that is what I'm seeing for your cards. Overall, I feel like September can be a very good month, especially career-wise, as long as you can kind of breathe and trust in what Spirit wants to bring you. As far as romance goes, I feel like for some of you, there's some work to do in that area. And for others of you, it's just about letting down your guard and, showing your vulnerable side, not being so defensive, just kind of trusting in the flow of the universe, and it will help to bring you, if you're wanting to manifest a partnership, romantically, career-wise, it could be wrapped up all in the same person. You just have to kind of let go and trust. Maybe you'll meet this person at some sort of event, a family get-together, a celebration of some sort. If you're feeling indecisive, if there's certain options that are before you and you're not sure how to decide, again, just trust and go with the flow, because you are going to have a lot of abundance, a lot of fruitful ideas coming through. You might be very fertile at this time. And so, again, just have the courage to step forward and embrace those new ideas, this new beginning for yourself, because it's all for your betterment. Don't stay stuck in this sort of 10 of Wands energy where you feel like you have to do everything on your own. Embrace your Emperor and Empress energy. Again, I just realized that you had the Empress and the Emperor in your reading. Again, that is both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. I feel like there's a lot of that coming through in September for you, that need of balancing both the divine masculine and feminine, and even partnerships in that way. So yes, if this reading resonated for you, please do leave a like on this video, comment down below what you thought about it, even come back later in the month of September and tell me how things are shaping up if you want to review this reading. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hello, everyone. And for those of you who picked a group 4 with the Bumblebee Jasper, let's go ahead and dive into what your cards are for the month of September. So we're going to start off with the tarot cards, of course, beginning with the cards that I pulled to represent sort of the overall energy for your month of September. And so we have the 9 of Swords. We also have the 8 of Swords. And we have Judgment. So what I'm getting off these cards, right off the bat, I'm feeling like for September, and probably you're already starting to deal with this, is, feeling kind of stuck right now, especially in your mental landscape, because we have 2 swords here. So this is very much air element. Judgment, of course, is Pluto. So that would be like Scorpio energy. And so what I'm seeing is that obviously you are feeling pretty stressed out at the moment with that 9 of Swords. You might be having trouble sleeping, especially at the beginning of September. And it's all kind of going back to this feeling of being trapped, being kind of stuck in your current situation, not being able to see a way out. And a large part of that has to do because this situation is something you mentally put yourself in. It's not necessarily, in some cases, it could represent maybe some physical restrictions that are around you that may have been caused by somebody else, but more so it's all stemming from yourself. And it's something you have to work through and get over, especially with that 9 of Swords. Again, trouble sleeping, maybe stressful dreams, night terrors, insomnia. Overall, this just feeling of kind of oppression and stress is what I'm getting off this. But then we have the Judgment card. So I feel like, that is the major arcana coming up for you already. And it's all about rising out of this situation. It is rebirth. It is receiving the call and going after that rejuvenation, falling back with your dreams, taking up the challenge and going for it, rising up again, rising out of sort of, obviously with this it's the grave, so it would be kind of like rising up out of death and starting again, answering that call so that you can continue on your journey. So let's go ahead and also check out some of the other cards I've pulled for you, especially with these next ones, because these are the cards I pulled to represent your emotional and spiritual well-being in the month of September. So that might really help with this situation. So we have the Ace of Swords, not the Ace of Swords, but the Ace of Wands. We also have the King of Wands. Look at that. Oh, and we have the 2 of Wands. Oh, look at that. That was so weird, okay, guys? Like, I wanted to call this the Ace of Swords. You have the Ace of Swords. That is wild. Okay, so there's some really good... this is a good sign here. Even though we have that kind of overall oppressive, kind of stuck energy, I see a lot of possibility in the form of, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. You're going to learn the truth of this situation, of your situation. You're going to take up your sword and you're going to use it with light and love and not for the wrong reasons, because again, it is a double-edged blade, so it can be used either way. But we also have the Ace of Wands, so I feel like a reigniting of passions, of embracing your spirituality, your creativity, your sexuality. It's all coming out, and that Ace of Wands is very much the get up and just do it energy, especially also with that Ace of Swords. I feel you cutting through kind of the bullshit of the negative ties that you might have around you, cutting yourself free from your situation, especially when we have also the 2 of Swords. I feel that, it's that blinded energy again, not wanting to look up and see the truth of the situation, because there's a decision here being presented, and it might be really hard to make the decision. You're not sure exactly how to go about it. And so, but deep down inside, what the truth of the situation is. What the right choice is. And once you do it, you really can, I'm seeing a lot of air and fire here. So you might have a lot of that in your chart. It could be representative of actual signs in your chart, like Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or it could represent sort of the dominant elements in your chart. And so, I feel like once you can get over this situation, and it's going to be leading you to a much brighter, stronger beginning, especially emotionally and strongly spiritually, because we have the King of Wands. So it's like really embracing your power, not being afraid of challenges, of choices that are presented. You can really battle through that and just conquer that situation with that King of Wands element. This could also possibly represent a masculine figure, whether they are male or female. It just means that they have a masculine energy, who might be able to come in and sort of guide you on your spiritual path, be an inspiration in that way. I'm really picking up on all these lions, and I'm currently doing this reading in Leo season, so maybe this person is presented at the end of August into your September, beginning of it, and I'm really picking up on all those lions. So this person could be possibly a Leo who comes in to help you, especially on your emotional and spiritual front. They could be maybe a spiritual teacher or a spiritual healer. Got some tea. So let's go ahead and check out what is going on for your material world. So this is talking about career, it's talking about family, health, schooling, if maybe you're in school currently, friendships, all of those kind of elements, kind of your day-to-day world. And so we have some more major arcanas coming out here, because we got card 10, the Wheel of the Year, or aka the Wheel of Fortune. We also have card 0, the Green Man, or the Fool. And we also have the King of Chalices. So we have another king element, so strong masculine energy coming through in your reading. With the Wheel of the Year, this is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's fate. It is things are just going to turn. They're going to change. It's never just always these downs. If you're in a really dark moment right now, if you're feeling really bad, really stuck, it's not going to last forever. Your luck, your fate is about to change. That is what I'm seeing for September. You're not going to be stuck in this situation for very long anymore, because you're going to make that choice. You're going to make that decision, and you're going to start again with that green man energy. I want to really look at what it says in this particular deck for that, because it's such a specific sort of image to represent the Fool. So, this is the god of nature. The green man, historically depicted as a leafy male figure with with like a floral face. He represents fertility of spring and the awakening earth. When vegetation begins to sprout, early flowers poke through the barren ground, buds appear on the trees, and there's hope for the end of the deprivations of the harsh winter. So I feel like that's kind of what you're dealing with, and your spring is about to come. Fate is going to turn the wheel, and you're going to be on that upswing, and it's going to present this new beginning for you. It's going to bring about the fertility, the spring, awakening in that way. That's also part of judgment. That's you're awakening again to your own power, a fresh start, new beginning, enthusiasm, excitement, spontaneity, courage, potential, creativity, fertility, innocence, innovation, vacation, primal energy, and fearlessness. Especially high on that primal energy with that green man. I'm definitely getting that, and that's part of that Ace of Wands energy. The creativity. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a writer of some sort. I'm getting that, especially with the communication element. And then we have the King of Chalices. So again, that could be, really embracing your own abundance. Again, I'm getting a lot of masculine energy off of this group. And I'm seeing with the King of Chalices, again, also embracing creativity, also, being very emotionally intelligent, emotionally stable, and this could represent a male who comes into your life also, who has this emotional stability, is also very good with business, with dealings of that nature. Let's go ahead and just double check, see if there's anything I'm missing with this king. Yeah, arts and sciences, professional, reliable counselor, considerate, giving advice, loyalty, and commitment to others. Business-related social invitation. Yeah, so business, socializing, reliable counsel. So that, especially in as far as your career and your material section goes here, I definitely see new beginning. I'm seeing fate throwing up some chances to you, some opportunities, and it's going to be kind of like out of left field. You're going to be surprised by it. Pay attention to hawks. And I'm seeing, and also bees. Pay attention to bees. And, there could be a male figure possibly who comes into your career sector to give you an opportunity to be a sponsor of some sort. So let's go ahead and also look on your romance front. So I'm going to try to read these cards to hit everybody. So if you are currently in a relationship, if you're single looking for one, or even if you're not really looking for a relationship, what I see even in that case. So we have quite a few cards, so there's a lot going on here. So first and foremost, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I always find this to be a pretty funny card. I'm gonna talk about that. But let's see what else we got. We also have the Queen of Wands. Look at that. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. There's that masculine feminine balance coming through. I also see we have the Strength card. Again, more of that Leo energy coming through. We also have the Knave of Chalices. And finally, we have the Hierophant. So again, I said, that strong masculine energy, somebody who's in a seat of power. That's definitely coming through with the Hierophant. So on one side, I'm seeing here with this sort of Knave of Chalices and then the Eight of Pentacles, I'm kind of seeing a case of, on one hand, with the Eight of Pentacles, kind of boredom or unsatisfaction, because the look on this woman's face just seems to imply like things aren't quite as fulfilling as she wants them, even though the male in this image is like feeling good. We also have the Knave of Chalices, and what really stands out to me there is this black cat, as well as, he's, that youthful romantic energy. How I take this is kind of like writing out, again, these, probably a love letter, a poem or something, and maybe not realizing that maybe the item of his affections isn't truly as into it as, you know, has invested in it as he is. Okay, that's just what I'm gonna say. I'm seeing that's kind of one way to write it, or maybe it's sort of remembrance of, you know, past romances and trying to get that emotion out onto paper. However it resonates for you guys. So let's go ahead and get more into this and look at the specific meanings, starting with that Hierophant. You know, this is talking about support, magnetic power. Before calling on a higher strength, you must protect yourself and be certain that you have support. Your intention must be clear. So I feel like for you guys who are wanting to manifest a love relationship, especially if you're currently single, it's like you really need to have clear intentions about what it is you want so that you don't sort of end up with something you weren't expecting. And, you know, be aware of what it is you're receiving and, you know, try to get all the facts. I also feel like, you know, you guys could be a group who is very attracted to power and strength in a partner. And that could go either because you yourself have a lot of that strength, or maybe you prefer somebody who is more dominant because you are more of a submissive. It could be that is the case. Now with the Strength card, you know, the Dominion, the magic of contact. Supremacy requires the utmost concentration of magic force to resist outside attacks. So again, I feel like this is going back to manifestation. So if you're wanting to manifest a certain kind of love relationship, you have to have really strong, you know, clear thoughts and intentions. And I feel like, you know, with these cards here, your thoughts are too muddled. So especially until you've cleared up that situation, I wouldn't try to start anything new on the romance front. So let's go ahead and talk about this Knave of Chalices and the Eight of Pentacles, because that might help to clear out what I mean by that. So with the Knave, you know, jealousy, the magic of the ink. Doubts are slinking along in the distance. You must find a way to communicate and meet in spite of the considerable distance. So yeah, so I feel like that's definitely a card for some people. Maybe you're in a long distance relationship and you have a lot of insecurities about, you know, what is your partner doing? You know, are they cheating on you? You know, what is going on there? And it's a need for more open communication. Again, that's going back to sort of this worry of the mind for some of you who are in a relationship, or maybe you're just starting out one. You know, I feel like this could be a mental state that can get you kind of in trouble in this way. So don't, again, have open communication and have trust. If you don't trust the person that you're with, then maybe you shouldn't be with that person. That's just what I'm going to throw out there. If you can't handle maybe the long distance relationship, then maybe that's not for you. I'm just going to throw that out there, not to throw any shade or judge anybody. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Take it how you will, what resonates. Now, for the Eight of Pentacles, indifference. Yeah, magic in the cup of coffee. An affectionate, gentle, and tender approach helps to overcome your partner's indifference because it reflects simple and honest feelings. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of tied to this connection. Instead of being sort of accusatory or, you know, filled with doubts or something, like, don't approach the situation from something harsh or negative or like this doubt and insecurity. Instead, try to be, you know, gentle and tender to overcome indifference. That could be how maybe your partner needs to approach you, or you have to approach your partner in this situation. Again, that might apply to some of you. It might not apply to any of you. So let's go ahead and also talk about the Queen of Wands, because this is, I definitely see this as being a pretty strong energy here, because we already have the King of Wands present. So with the Queen, this is undressing, magic of the entwined rings. Honesty and devotion between partners are born of daily pleasures. You must seduce your partner every day as if it were always the first time. So this is, again, that's a good message for those who are in a relationship right now, or even going into a new one. It's like, if you want to keep things going and moving, and again, don't get affected by sort of those doubts, have daily things that you do for one another. You know, little sweet messages, certain seductive techniques, whether, you know, especially with that undressing thing. Again, take things kind of slow and enjoy the moment, kind of that teasing element. And, you know, I see a lot of attraction here with the Queen of Wands. You know, she's very charismatic, she's very attractive. Same with the King of Wands. It's both two equally fiery elements coming through, especially on on the emotional front. And so that can help you, some of you who are currently in relationships and maybe you feel like some of the fire is dying out. Start by doing little small things every single day that are seductive in nature, that are, suggestive, sweet little words, however your love language is, whether that's gifts, acts of service, words, you get the picture, I think. And so yeah, again, I feel like there's definitely two ways that this can go about for some of you, where it's like taking the more tender, softer approach with your partner to, again, get through that indifference, maybe spice things up again by being more sensual, not so maybe aggressive, or it's the opposite, where maybe that tender, soft approach is no longer working, it's no longer lighting the fire, and so maybe taking a more dominant, taking a more aggressive approach in the bedroom is necessary here. And, mix things up. Again, I feel like this is a case where maybe, especially if you sort of do the same romantic things over and over again in the same kind of place, in the same kind of way, maybe mix it up, spice things up, add in, if maybe you guys are used to, having sex in the bedroom, maybe switch it up and do it somewhere else in, your space, in your home, whatever it may be. Again, I'm getting that off this. Maybe even trying to do something like writing, again, like those love letters, maybe a poem or something. It just depends on, what is your emotional, what is your relationship like currently, and just figure out a way to kind of switch things up, try to do something surprising and different. Maybe like, again, undressing seductively for your partner before like getting into the other activities, something kind of like that. I'm also seeing, so again, a lot of this is kind of going towards more people who are already in relationships, I feel like. So as far as those who are looking currently for a relationship, I think, again, it comes down to this game of seduction, really understanding how to sort of conquer your, the item of your affection. So maybe you've been in relationships where things have been pretty indifferent, maybe not satisfying, and maybe it's because you're choosing the same kind of partner over and over again. Maybe it's a certain established pattern, maybe it's a certain way that you sort of approach partners. And again, I feel like it's a need to sort of switch things up and try a different approach, a different attack method, to say the least. That's what I'm definitely getting off the romance section of these cards. So let's go ahead and also check out your oracle cards. So as far as the card that I pulled to represent sort of the overall spirit guide, guardian angel for you guys in the month of September, we have Radha, the soul flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. See, that is totally coming up. I definitely feel like for a lot of you who picked this group, you guys are more so in committed relationships. You have been for a while. And, on both fronts, on just your other elements of your life, rediscover a lost part of yourself. That is what this is definitely about. That's what Judgment is about. It's reclaiming a part of yourself and starting again with a new beginning. You have essentially 3 cards that represent new beginnings, and the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Fool card. So getting back to your roots, to who you truly are, understanding that, things that have been happening for certain reasons, and it will not stay that way forever. The wheel is always turning, always changing. And as far as relationship goes, experience relationship harmony and healing. So yeah, there's probably a need for already established relationships to heal those sort of bonds. And again, I feel like that need of sort of switching things up, have communication, try something new on that front. As far as those looking for a relationship, clearly I take this as wanting to find something deeper, something more on the line of soul flame, of a soul mate. And again, in order to do that, I think you need to understand your patterns when it's come to previous relationships. What patterns, what type of people have you always gone for? Because I feel like maybe your soul flame is somebody who is totally different from you. There's somebody completely unexpected, is something out of your comfort zone, and you just need to embrace that. Take that leap of faith. So loving union, connection, and relationship harmony are key at this time. It's important to remember, though, that relationships won't make you whole. Only your own love can do that. You now have opportunities to find lost parts of yourself, maybe sensual aspects or the capacity to cherish yourself. The relationships around you will then begin to reflect the love you have for yourself. Increased romance, love, and opportunities to express divine harmony through love are all becoming apparent in your life. You deserve divine love, and Radha, with her Shakti presence, is here to awaken this loving connection with you now. So yeah, that's what this is about. Definitely, for sure. You have to start by getting out of this self-doubt, this sort of worry mindset, and love yourself again first, so that you can, achieve what it is you want on all fronts. Rediscover those lost parts of yourself. What parts of yourself have you maybe given up in order to satisfy other romantic partners that you've had? Again, maybe you need a partner who's going to cherish your needs first before you go out, you satisfy their needs first, okay? So let's go ahead and see what else we got here. So as far as your animal spirit guide, we have the ant spirit. So time to collaborate. This is it's card 1, and we have a lot of that 1 energy. So with the ant spirit, I definitely feel like, time to collaborate. This is all about co-creating with spirit, as well as working together with other people around you. So again, that could be possibly partnerships coming in to help you in the form of like that King of Wands or that King of Chalices kind of energy. I definitely feel like, ants are so small, but they have incredible strength. They can achieve such amazing things. And so I feel like that is what you need to not doubt yourself just because maybe right now you're feeling like you're small or like for some reasons you're insignificant. Like, no, you have so much strength and so much power to do what you want and build what you want. Especially with those puzzle pieces, that goes back to finding those lost aspects of yourself. That is what you need to start with, especially in September. To get everything else rolling on, in this month, you have to sort of rediscover yourself and get over, this sort of dark moment that you're having here. Heal that. And so for the crystal that might be useful for you to use in this month, in September, we have the agate, which is really funny because, we have this, you were attracted and you picked this pile because this is Bumblebee Jasper, but actually it's very much debated in the sort of mineral community whether this is actually a true Jasper or if it's more of an agate. So that might be significant for some of you. So what it says, who needs it? Work-life balance strugglers. Where to put it? Wherever you need more stability in your life. When to use it? When you want to get into your body, try fire agate. When too much screen time has you feeling disconnected from anything, the slight bit of eco, try the far from apple named moss agate, which neither contains moss nor is technically an agate, but can still hold it down. Find your solid ground. So yeah, especially with all this air element here and sort of being stuck up in your mind, like you need some more grounding, some more stability in that way. Again, it makes me think of this green man here. So maybe connecting to earth, the earth element a little bit before kind of reigniting with that fire and that air element. So finally, let's talk about the last oracle card I pulled for you, which is all about, what you need to do in this month as far as your own personal development. And so we have card 16, embrace oneness with the universe. And look at that. Look at what this figure is doing. It's stepping down into the earth. So again, I feel like that's, needing to relax a little bit, breathe, find your center. So let's go ahead and see specifically what this card is talking about. Are you rushing through life trying to achieve and acquire? When this card appears, it's time to take a deep breath and slow down. Consider there are simple, small, happy things around you to which you are blind whilst you fixate. Look at that. While you fixate on the desire, larger goals, and larger expectations. that are making you feel increasingly cut off, frustrated, or despondent. The girl in this card has stepped away from her desk, out of the kitchen, away from others' expectations. She has chosen to walk, not drive. She treads slowly in order to fully sense and notice the little things around her. Her heart lifts with a great sense of happiness. At her feet spring luscious berries and sweetly scented flowers. The world around her swells with pleasure as it senses itself being noticed and appreciated. It's time to step lightly in the world and be grateful for what you have. Notice the small things. The answers you seek reside in the small achievements and enjoyments of each day, and your willingness to be one with the universe. Know that your role and place in the world is just as essential as anyone and anything else. Exactly. That is totally that ant spirit coming through. Again, with that, what did it say specifically? That made me
Hi,
think of
Group
that.
5.
Future. Reviewing this, Ciara noticed that she didn't show the ritual for this card like she was with all the other groups, and I'm so sorry for that. So let me just go ahead and show you guys that, because each one of these cards has a different ritual that you can use in order to connect and, learn from this card. So here is the ritual for you guys in relation to the card that was pulled for you. And so you can go ahead and read this up on screen right now, write it down if you want to go ahead and do this ritual to help you connect and work on the things that I talked about in your reading. So there you go. Sorry about that, guy. Little interjection. Now let's go ahead and go back to the reading. Notice the small things. The answers you seek reside in the small achievements. Exactly. It's those, you guys might be a group who's so sort of overwhelmed by the larger picture that you're missing all the small details. And those are where, the answers that you seek are. That's where all those lost parts of yourself are residing. You need to reconnect with those smaller things. And so, the world around her swells with pleasure as it senses itself being noticed and appreciated. You have to notice and appreciate yourself first and foremost before anybody else kind of does. And that led me back to this image right here. It's like this male is like completely appreciating what he's seeing right there. And again, it starts with her and her confidence, because the Queen of Wands is so confident. She has great mastery over her strength, her personal power, and so she knows she has it. Like she knows it. And so of course, other people are automatically going to be, attracted to that and appreciate it as well. So that's where I think you guys need to work on that in your month here in September. So let's see, is there anything else that I'm picking up here? Yeah, self-confidence. You guys definitely need to work on your self-confidence, your self-esteem, all of those elements. Figure out what decision it is you want to make moving forward, because there's brand new beginnings happening here. You just have to take the risk. And as far as your romance center goes, you need to appreciate and love yourself, love your own body, be comfortable in your skin before you can really, I think, embrace somebody else who can do that for you as well. Because again, I feel like maybe you previously had partners who took a lot from you and weren't willing necessarily to give back, maybe. Again, that might not resonate for everybody, but yeah, I see. Yeah, find your work-life balance, because I see things are going to be moving pretty well along in your work. It's going to be a new beginning, but again, you have to have that balance, clear up your mind. So yes, if this reading resonated for you guys, please do leave a like on this video. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Even come back later on in the month of September and let me know how things are shaping up and all of that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. For those of you who picked Group 5 with the Carnelian, let's go ahead and dive into your cards for the month of September. So we're going to start with the tarot, beginning off with sort of the general overview kind of cards I pulled. And so we have the Three of Swords. We also have the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, there's a strong emphasis here on the number 3. So that might be of significance for some of you. It might be a synchronicity that you should pay attention to in the month of September. And so what I'm definitely getting off here is that, so there's two things I'm getting off right away. So first of all, with that Three of Swords, this tells me that you've had some sort of heartbreak, some sort of pain, and you might still be working on it or getting over it in the month of September, and you're very close to finally healing from it. I feel like, from moving on from it. And it could be the case that the individual who caused this sort of heartache might have been somebody who represents this Knight of Swords element. Or it's the opposite of that, where, you know, maybe somebody is going to come in who represents this Knight of Swords and is going to help you heal this heartbreak situation with the Three of Swords. They're going to help to show you the truth of the situation. They're going to move in fast. They're going to have their eyes set on helping you, especially when we have something like the Three of Pentacles right here. So this tells me, you know, working together with other people to achieve something, especially work-wise, you know, craftsmanship, you know, design, creativity, that's all coming through here with this Three of Pentacles. So let's go ahead and look at your other cards as well to get more clarity on this. So for the cards that I pulled to represent your emotional and spiritual well-being in this month, we have the Hierophant. So that is the first major arcana to appear. We also have the Eight of Swords. We also have, oh, look at this. We have the World card. Look at that. And then we have the Five of Cups. Yep. So you're definitely dealing with a heartbreak, I feel like. You probably feel pretty pessimistic, and that, you know, because those other cups have spilled over, you're mourning that, you're kind of obsessing about it, being stuck in sort of this grief, this suffering kind of mindset, especially with that Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, feeling stuck, like you can't move forward. But you need to realize that you still have options before you, especially with, you know, with the Five of Cups, there's two other cups still standing. And that's also referencing the Two of Cups. So partnership, possibly. You know, you need to realize that there's still opportunities before you. Even with this Eight of Swords, I see this little hummingbird here with the heart. Yeah, there's options for you. You just have to reach out and take them. And, you know, heal your heart space. Again, that Knight of Swords might be the element that comes in to help you with that. Or it could represent maybe the energy that did that to you. And it's something you have to learn from. You have to learn from that sort of fast-moving Knight energy. You know, they're very focused on their goals and they're going to go after it no matter what. And that may not align always with what you're doing, or vice versa. It's a kind of a strange sense that I'm getting of. Again, it might resonate for some of you in one case and maybe the other. And then with the Hierophant, I see, you know, going back to your deepest wisdom, your deepest truth, your traditions, your routine, needing to go back into a routine, because that's going to help you stay focused, keep you busy, and so that you can keep moving out of this. Because if you have little steps and little goals each and every day, each time you achieve one of within that day, it's just one step closer to getting you out of this mindset, to getting you back on track and getting you to work on things again and not focus so much on, you know, again, I'm getting the sense that, yeah, I feel like some of you have gone through some sort of heartbreak, because it's like I'm seeing you guys kind of represented as this swan that's sort of trapped, and this person sort of rushing away. You know, that's who did this to you. They had snared you, and now you're feeling like you're trapped there. But no, like, you are the swan. You have so much strength. You're not weak. You can rise up and get yourself out of this situation. It's all about your mindset and your emotions and what you're giving your power to. Because then we also have the World card. So I see that you're going to get out of this situation. You're going to realize the truth of the situation. You're going to find your inner wisdom, your guidance, get back on track, and it's going to be just the world's before you again. Like, you can achieve everything and anything. You're going to celebrate who you are, what you have already achieved, and understand, like, this situation, yeah, it might have been dark, it might have been hard, but you learned what you needed to from it, and now you can keep chugging forward on your path to your highest good. So let's go ahead and talk about the cards that I pulled to represent your material world. So your career, your education, friendships, family, all those, health possibly, all of those other elements. So we have the High Priestess. We also have 13, Lord of Shadows, which would be the Death card. We have the Two of Swords, as well as the Queen of Wands. So what I'm getting off this, so as far as your material world, obviously emotionally you've been going through some stuff, and you know, there's a decision that you need to make in your material outside world. And once you can make this choice, you know, making this choice is going to help you with this healing, with this rebirth, with the Death card. Some aspect, again, of your old self, of the situation is going to die, and you're going to move forward and be reborn as, you know, the butterfly moving forward. You're going to finally make that choice that you've been having an issue with. You're going to be reclaiming your power as the High Priestess. Maybe you are wanting to work on a career now that is more in line with your own sort of spiritual beliefs. You know, you could be a very psychic person. You could be, you know, have clairvoyant gifts, and maybe that would be useful for you to use in your career and material success. You know, listen to your intuition, because it is one of your most powerful gifts and will help you to sort of make this decision. I feel like there's going to be a decision presented to you in the material world of your life. And so just trust, follow your intuition, and know that you have all the power. Again, you're going to be, you know, coming into this Queen of Wands energy where you are, you know, confident. You know your power, you know your strength, and you just feel very comfortable in your own skin and embracing who you are. And that's going to make you very attractive, like magnetic to other people, because they're going to, you know, be attracted to that energy, I feel like. Again, the way you're going to get to that is, of course, through this Lord of Shadows, through the death process, through like having one aspect of yourself, finally cutting it free so that you can give room to let other things grow. Make that decision, embrace that, because then the world is before you. That's definitely what I'm getting off this. So now let's go ahead and look at the cards that I pulled as far as your romance sector goes. So I'm going to try to read these with everybody in mind. So I'm going to try to read them as from the perspective of singles looking for a romance, relationships for those who are already in a committed relationship, and of course maybe even for those who are not really necessarily looking for a relationship, but maybe what they need to know anyway. So we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Fool. There's just a matter of time for that one to appear. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a pretty good sign, I feel like. Yeah, maybe some of you are getting over a breakup of some sort. So this is definitely for the singles. You know, maybe you went through a harsh breakup, and now you're ready to step forward on your fool's journey again and looking for new love, you know, having optimism, just going out and doing it and just seeing what happens, you know, have an adventure, travel, take a risk, take a leap of faith. And then with that Ace of Pentacles, I'm seeing, you know, once you do that, there's a strong possibility for you to find a very fulfilling romantic relationship, and it could be tied to how you make money or the material world again, you know. And then with that Seven of Wands, I'm seeing, you know, that caressing. Let's go ahead and get more specific here by looking at the booklet for this. So again, with that Fool energy, yeah, an erotic outburst, surrendering to love. The magic action frees us from uncertainty, urging us to surrender to love, willingness to spontaneity in willingness. So yeah, just taking a risk, like understanding like the heartbreak and stuff that maybe you went through for some of you before. It is what it is. That doesn't need to stop you from keep stepping forward and just go with the flow. Embrace spontaneous meetings with certain people. Just give love another chance, I feel like, is what this card is telling me. And so with the Seven of Wands, whispering, the magic of the lizard. Doubts and suspicions dissolve in the sunlight. Clarity illuminates feelings and situations. So I feel like, again, for the singles, you know, you're going to step out on this journey. You're going to probably meet somebody. And you need to remember not to be suspicious, like based off your past experiences with romance. Like, again, be open, surrender to what you feel, and just trust that, just because you had one bad situation before, it doesn't mean it's going to happen again with this new person. And finally, with the Ace of Pentacles, gratification, the magic of the 3 candles. A complete and gratifying relationship unites mind, flesh, and spirit. Love is rooted in the intimacy that follows intercourse. So yes, I see this as being, for those who are single, it's like, again, you've gotten over, you're walking away from those snakes in your life, and you're moving forward, and you're going to end up meeting somebody, and you're going to be kind of worried about, oh my God, am I making the same mistake again? But no, just trust, because I feel like once you get intimate with this person and you finally just give in and you release and just do the deed, you'll realize that, this is not the same relationship that you were in before. It's going to be something that, it's going to be a new beginning. It's going to be grounded. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be fulfilling for you, both, maybe even materially, physically for sure, as well as, emotionally. And as far as those who are currently in relationships, I see, again, starting something kind of new, like you both kind of starting again, trying something new, maybe traveling together, tightening, deepening the bond that you already have, and realizing this is more serious than maybe you realized before. Like, this is something that could be very stable and can last for a long time, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. You just have to let it give. Oops. The Ace of Pentacles is that it's earth element, so that means that it's not fast movement. It takes its time. It's slow growing, and so you just need to take your time with your partner. If you're wanting to move things ahead, if you're having certain doubts or certain worries about their intentions, don't, again, trust, give it time, just be in the moment with the intimacy that you have with this person, and just keep trucking, just keep trusting, I feel like. And as far as those who are not obviously currently looking for relationships, like, I see you definitely as that fool. You're just going about your business. You're going about your life. You see other people who are doing their shit, and maybe there's some people around you who are kind of like the snakes, or kind of, I don't want to say that we're judging necessarily, but well, why aren't you in a relationship now? What are you doing? And you're just not going to listen to them anymore. You're just going to keep trucking along. And I feel like that's going to lead you to, eventually I think you will meet somebody. Again, it's going to test you, and, this 7 of Wands is definitely a lot to do with lowering, I think, your defenses. You might have certain doubts, you might have certain worries, but you just have to kind of surrender and be vulnerable. And then you'll realize, what the truth of the situation is through that. So yes, that's what I'm seeing there. Let's go ahead now and check out some of your oracle cards. So the card that I pulled to represent your spirit guide, your angel that's helping you in the month of September, we have the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So yeah, I feel like you guys are kind of, again, going back to that idea of being kind of pessimistic with that 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. It's you might feel oh, the world is just so kind of shitty, or bad things just keep happening to me. What is going on? Why do I keep getting stuck in these situations? It's you need to stop thinking that way, because your mindset has a lot to do with where you are, what manifests in your physical world. So instead of being pessimistic, expect miracles. Know that Spirit has your back, and just approach everything from a very, again, honest place of love, and just focus on what it is you want to build. I feel go back and study more with the Hierophant if need be. Focus on your own practice, your own spiritual work. The High Priestess, work on your manifestation, work on your magic. Don't worry so much about everything else, because you're going through a moment right now. I feel because we have the Lord of Shadows, the Death card here present. That means you're going to go through a transformation. We have the Two of Swords also, which is very much tied to this energy of trying to make a decision. So let's just go ahead and get more specific on this Holy Spirit. See if there's any additional information. So yeah, expect the unexpected. Expect miracles. A real turnaround is possible now. Angels are dancing around you. Leave behind thoughts, memories, and feelings that no longer serving you. And remember that love that you are. Move into your heart and allow that love to shine out into the world. Then miracles can happen. Again, that's that Queen of Wands element. So again, it's a reminder about how you're thinking. What are you focusing your mind on? Move away from that, especially if it's negative, and just, think about your heart, your love, that you can bring about positive change for yourself in this world. So let's go ahead and also look at your animal spirit guides for the month of September, because you got quite a few. So we have parrot spirit, watch your words. Again, that goes back to how you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself. Are you loving yourself or are you depreciating yourself? Watch what you're saying, because again, what you're saying, what you're thinking to yourself is manifesting in your physical world. So if you want things to actually change for yourself, then you have to start with yourself and start with your mind, because then everything else will improve. It's putting that work in with that Three of Pentacles. Even if you need to rely on other people to help you with it, then so be it. Or you need to work on your own. You might need to do both with that High Priestess. So we also have Otter Spirit. You are never alone. There's always Spirit. Your angels are always around to help you. You're never alone. There's always love for you to rely on. You just have to remember that it's there. There's even people around you that you might be surprised are there to support you. And then finally, we also have Groundhog Spirit. Time to let go. Exactly. If you want to bring love, and that could be in the form of anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. It's self-love. It's friendships. It's whatever. If you want to bring that love back into your life, then it starts with you. It starts with letting go of what you're still holding on to. You want to reach for that. I can see that. But again, you just have to move beyond this pain. You need to heal it. And the best way to do that is just to finally face it and be like, no more. I feel like I'm also picking up on a lot of this orange, a little bit of the green as well. So heart chakra, your root chakra, sacral, solar plexus. It's definitely those lower chakras are coming out. And in fact, let's talk about the crystals that we pulled for you for this month of September that might be useful for you to use. And look, we got garnet, and it looks quite similar to this carnelian, so that could be a sign that carnelian is also one you should work with. And so for garnet, who needs it? Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, and sexual beings who aren't sexting. See, maybe you need that release. And again, it goes back to maybe you need to write, you need to work on your craft, on what you're passionate about. Your spiritual practices, whatever it is, you need to go back to that and start working on it, because you've been wallowing, I think, for too long. Embrace the death moment, release it, transform. Where to put it? Any place you want to make something be it art, love, or dollar bills, y'all. So when to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of likes-driven culture. Get into your depth. So yeah. Again, it's all about reconnecting to who you are, releasing those sad things that you might still be holding on to. And then the other stone we have here is Epodite. So, who needs it? Anyone putting in the work on their self, see? Where to put it? Stashed away with your existential to-do list. When to use it? When you're looking to kick a bad habit, a bad friend, or a bad mood. When you want to cast a spotlight on your weaknesses so you can work on them. Upgrade your version of you. Exactly. See, this is what you're called to do in this month. It's a month to work on you and recognize your weaknesses, recognize your shadow self, and, don't hate on it. Embrace it. Heal it. Forgive it, because that is the only way that you're going to be able to move forward. That's part of your death process. This is going to be a month for that, for sure. And finally, we have the last card that I pulled for you that is representing, your personal development for this month, what you need to work on. And we have card 22, honor your mystical creative force. Yes, that's the High Priestess coming out. It's the Three of Pentacles. It is you. It is the Queen of Wands. Exactly. So let's go ahead and read this. There is a mystical force present in all people that empowers them to affect the world or affect change in their lives. You know, this card appears when it's time to make a sacrifice in order to move into the next creative expression of self. The maiden contemplates her role in creation, the seed, the birth, the nurture, the release, both in her ability to procreate and in her choices of expressing her creative force in relationships, music, art, and food. She sits bathed in the light of the distant full moon, her mystical powers reflecting far into the past and far into the future. The sacred snake extends from her woven hair. Her blood is offered to it as a sacrifice. It is the sacred dance of creation to give life and in return have some of her own taken away, transferred, and transformed. This card embodies the ancient goddess as she is depicted in the Garden of Eden as a primordial omniscient serpent, the bearer of wisdom. If this card is drawn by a woman seeking to start a family, it confers pregnancy and fertility. You know, this card relates to all the sacred female cycles, the transitions of maiden to mother to crone, blessing them as divine and equally valuable and beautiful. So especially if you're a woman, you know, it's funny, it brought up that snake, and there we have that snake appearing again. That might be an energy you need to work with. It might help you. You know, working with the full moon, working with cycles, especially if you're a woman, you know, keep that in mind. So let's go ahead with these cards. There is specific rituals for you to use. And so I'll have this up on the screen. You can go ahead and pause, read it, write it down if you want to go ahead and do this to work on this process. Especially, I would feel like this would be a good one to do during the full moon. Okie dokie. So, see if there's anything else that I'm gleaming from your cards. Again, you know, watch, you know, appreciate yourself. Have gratitude for all that you have. You know, treat yourself with kindness and love. You know, there's no need for you to sort of be in this suffering mindset anymore. You can move beyond it. You have the power and the strength to do it. Embrace your divine gifts, your creativity, your power, because it's going to bring you a lot of joy. Don't worry so much about, I think, romance. You know, if you keep walking on your fool's journey and you keep just working on you and what it is you want to do, love will find its way to you. And this might be a time where you need to be alone for a little bit, especially working on that death moment there. Alrighty, so if this reading resonated for you guys, please do leave a like on this video. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you want to come back even later on in the month of September to review this video, let me know how it's shaping up, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of August. Alrighty, for my sixth and final group for this video, we have the green Fluorite. So let's go ahead and dive into your cards are for the month of September, and we're going to go ahead and start with the tarot that I pulled, beginning with sort of the general overview for your month of September. And so we have the Sun. We also have, oh my god, we have the Fool, and then we have the Ten of Swords. Oh my god. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the Ten of Swords, because I feel like that is what's going to shake up the beginning of your September, probably the end of your August as well. And so the Ten of Swords, it's an ending. It's the ending of something. It's probably not going to be the most comfortable ending. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be harsh. It's going to be a hard kind of ending. But with the sun setting, with this ending happening, the sun is going to be rising again. And so it's a chance for you to start again, for a new beginning. And I definitely see that coming out, blaze of glory with the sun, with the Fool card. You're going to get back on and start a new Fool's journey with this ending happening. Because these are two major arcana, so these are the most important energies for your September. And so with the Fool card, yeah, you're going to be walking your new Fool journey. You're going to be taking a leap of faith, and it's going to lead to so much joy and celebration and success, abundance with the sun. You know, what also really stood out to me with the Sun card is, you know, these children. Maybe, you know, in September connecting to children that are around you. Maybe you do have children, or maybe you want to have children, or maybe you get pregnant in September. Who knows? It just depends on, what resonates for you, but I definitely see that being an important aspect here. And, just really a glorious new beginning is happening here. Even after the pain of this ending, you're going to be picking right back up and chugging forward, and the sun is going to be blessing you in this way. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of your cards. So these next ones that I pulled represent sort of your emotional and spiritual well-being in the month of September. And so we have the Seven of Swords. We also have the High Priestess. And then we have the Empress. So much major arcana action happening for you guys. So definitely what I'm seeing with the Seven of Swords, that could be definitely related to that Ten of Swords energy. You're going to be, I feel like, realizing the illusions, the lies that maybe have been around you, especially on the emotional front. You're no longer going to be hiding. I feel like, secrets are going to be revealed, taking up responsibility, rising up, especially with that High Priestess. You're going to be embracing your own innate wisdom, your intuitive powers, and it's going to help you to, again, with that Empress and the Sun, abundance, fertility, high on the fertility, guys, so pay attention to that. The birth of a new idea, new inspiration, and it's going to be, connected to your intuition, to your emotions, to your spirituality. So keep that in mind. Embrace it. Don't hide from it. Especially don't hide it, don't feel like you have to hide it from other people because you're afraid of maybe how they judge you. If those are the kind of people that are around you, then definitely cut them out because they're not beneficial for you. Don't try to dim your light in order to fit in. Don't try to feel like you have to sneak around because you're into a certain thing, you have a certain idea or concept. Like, that is not how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to shine bright with that, the High Priestess, with the Empress and the Sun. You be you and do your own thing. So as far as your material world goes, let's go ahead and look at the cards I pulled for that. So that represents, your work, education, money, family, friendships, health even, all those sort of aspects that are outside of sort of this inner realm. So we have card 14, which is basically temperance. We also have the Page of Chalices. Yes. We then have the Three of Pentacles, even more so. And we have the Five of Chalices. So yeah, I see that. That's definitely tied to the ending here with the Ten of Swords. You're no longer going to be focused on the cups that have spilled. The failures, maybe the insecurities, the things that didn't go right in the past. Like, those are no longer going to be on your mind. You've honored them, you've released them, you're forgiving them, and you're going to move forward and embrace a new beginning. Especially with that Page of Chalices, this is a reconnection to, your remembrance of your romanticism, wearing your heart on your sleeve, new creativity. Again, I see definitely the arts, a new bright idea. That's something creative that is passionate for you. And with that, even with the Temperance card, I'm seeing, working on what it is you want to achieve. Even with the Three of Pentacles, you might be working with other people. It could be a creative project. Maybe it's music. I'm seeing, learning how to balance everything, all the elements around you. So yeah, inspiration, patience, temperance, fusion, invigoration, blending ideas, harmony of the rational and the intuitive. That's totally, the High Priestess energy. Consolidation to overcome differences, reconciliation, infusion of power, diplomacy, trusting intuition, skills in the arts. Look at that. Doubly so. So you guys could definitely be a very artistic group. You have some sort of artistic talent, and finally you're going to be, giving the time and the space to finally work on that, I feel like. And so let's go ahead now and talk about the cards that I pulled as far as your romance sector goes. And so I'm going to try to read these as far as, for singles, for those who are in relationships, and even for those who aren't particularly looking for relationships, what is kind of on the horizon there. So we got quite a few cards. So crazy enough, we have the Empress, and then we have the Emperor. look at that. So I definitely see, this has been happening a lot in a lot of these readings. So this balance of both masculine and feminine. We also have the King of Swords. We have the Five of Swords. So we have another 5 coming out. We have the Lovers. And then we have the 7 of Chalices. So we have another 7. So 5s and 7s might be significant for you. And so, let's see, what am I getting off this right off the bat? Again, I'm feeling like for some of you, especially if you're looking for romance, there might be a strong masculine figure coming in, whether that actually represents a man or a woman. Doesn't matter. It's that element of masculinity. I can't say the word. Anyway, it's a male energy. And so we also have the King of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 7 of Chalices. So with the Lovers, I definitely feel like for some of you, there's options available to you. There's hard choices involved. Maybe there's 2 individuals that you have a interest in, and you're kind of stuck in the middle trying to decide, who is the better person for you. And again, the power is in your court in this. Again, I'm getting the sense of kind of like a 3-party thing where it's like there might be kind of a love triangle happening here. And so, be aware. I feel like you're going to have to make a choice at some point. Let's go ahead and get more specific into here. So let's talk about the Emperor and the Lovers. So with the Emperor, virility, the magic of the stones. To exercise the power entrusted to you, you must know how to dominate yourself. So again, that is... that could represent that maybe you have a very dominant nature, or maybe the partner that you're seeking is very dominant. But in order to understand that, you have to, even if you are more of a submissive, you need to understand, where can you be dominant? You need to kind of embrace that energy just to shake things up, I feel like. And with the Lovers, it's seduction, the red magic of the plants. Nature is an unerring guide. Plants and animals are examples to be imitated. Magic perfume seduces and sustains us in important sentimental choices. So yeah, be very aware of your senses. Maybe in order to make this choice, if you are in a situation where you're trying to choose between 2 different lovers, maybe focus on the one which really aligns with your senses. So maybe the one, kind of talking about animals and stuff, maybe the one whose pheromones are more appealing to you. Something kind of like that. And then we also have, this 7 of Chalices. So flight of fancy, the magic of the 4 leaves of mint. The penetrating perfume of mint is like the thought of our loved one upon us. It fuels ideals and plans of love. So again, there's that emphasis on the senses, sense of smell in particular. So I feel like that might be significant for some of you, if that makes any sense. And then we have the swords. So with the 5 of Swords, what did I just say? I said shaking things up. And that's literally what this card says. Shaking things up. Magic of the purple flowers. You must overcome the fear of judgment, shame, and a sense of inadequacy. You must give yourself a good shake and take some risks. That's the Fool energy right there again. I was kind of talking about that with the 7 of Swords too. And even like this 10 of Wands. Yeah, like embrace who you really are and just kind of take a risk. Especially in the love front, And then with that King of Swords, fondling, the magic of the black orchid. Love is made of strength. True love is capable of going beyond strength. There are different kinds of strength. So again, I think that's understanding, there's kind of that, with the Emperor I was talking about, understanding the dominance. So I think it's important for you to understand your own strengths, and even with your partner, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And so for those who are already in a relationship, yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. I'm seeing maybe playing around with the sense of smell. Again, shake things up, try something new, take a risk, see where it leads. And, again, I feel like it could lead to deeper intimacy, especially with that 7 of Chalices. So it's like that dreamy play with the imagination, maybe even something like role playing, fantasy. And again, that balance of dominant versus submissive. I feel like masculine versus feminine. you know, again, I'm getting that sense of role playing a little bit here. Maybe you or your partner is very interested in that. So and maybe you're not sure of it, or maybe your partner isn't sure of it, but like, just give it a shot. Just give it a chance. Just try and do it and see what happens. However that resonates for you. Again, for those looking for a relationship, I think it's really important for you to know your strengths, know your weaknesses, pay attention to sense of smell, because that might come up. There might be a situation coming up here in the future where there might be more than one person fighting for the affections of the same person. So be aware of that. And again, if things don't go the way that you expect it to, know that you still have all the power and there's still options in the future. So, and for those, again, who aren't really focusing on romance, again, it's all going back to that, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, and really following your path and embracing who you truly are, not hiding yourself. So again, seduction. Yeah, I feel like that's part of it. I feel like play, like doing something playful, again, kind of like the role-playing thing, might be important for a lot of you who are in a relationship or wanting to get into one. Maybe that's how you'll recognize a new partner, is maybe they're into that sort of thing. That might help you with this choice element. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on now to the oracle cards I pulled for you. So for your spirit guide, for your guardian angels for the month of September, the cards that I pulled for you are the Miriam, Sacred Vision, choose to forgive in order to heal, see the light in all, remember that love has no boundaries. And we have those red flowers coming up again, so that might be significant for some of you. And then we have Kuan Yin, care and compassion, choose to be love, do what is right for everyone involved, offer a helping hand. So yeah, I definitely feel like for you guys, it's all about love. It is, self-love, love for others, healing and forgiving from that. I don't know if I said something like that before, but maybe I did in this reading, or maybe it was in a previous one. Be very mindful of what other people, pick up. Use your intuition and read other people around you, because maybe there's people around you who need your help, but they're not saying anything. And so you need to be kind of on alert for that. So with Kuan Yin, it says, first of all, the keepers of the light want to acknowledge all the service and commitment you have offered to others. You are all love. If you are finding it difficult with anyone at the moment, the best way you can move forwards is to go beyond wanting to understand why or how they are the way they are. Just move beyond their behavior, mistakes, and challenges. This card brings a message of friendship and care, helping you see that those around you do have the best intentions, even if it doesn't always seem that way. Move into compassion and develop a greater understanding. This will elevate your spirit and connection to love. And then with the Miriam, it says, this is a real opportunity for you to move beyond grief or grievance at this time. That's that 10 of Wands element right there. And that 5 of Chalices. The Miriam are here swirling their holy light all around you so that you can regain a sense of union with spirit. You are loved beyond words. Choose to see the light of God in everyone and everything, and to love without boundaries. Honor others and honor yourself with your sacred vision. That's a high priestess right there. You are in a space of deep healing and forgiveness. Choosing to see the light of the world will help you to grow even more. So both of these cards have to do with reading kind of other people and seeing beyond, their behavior. Kind of, again, that's kind of that 7 of Swords. Understanding, there might be people who have said certain things, but their actions kind of contradict what they said, or vice versa. And so you kind of have to look beyond what you're seeing or what they're saying, and kind of look for that underlying thing and have forgiveness for what you see, I feel like. So let's go ahead and also talk about the animal spirit guide for you guys for the month of September. And what do we have? We have card 36 with the koi fish spirit. There is always enough. So yeah, I definitely feel like this is all about having gratitude for everything that you have. You know, even if you've gone through hardships and stuff, you still gain something out of it. There's always, Spirit is always providing exactly what you need when you need it. So don't, have fear about that, surrounding that, what you are conceiving that you lack. Because again, there's a reason for everything that is happening. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as this, the crystals that might be useful for you to use in this month, we have 3 different crystals. So this first one we have is copper. So who needs it? Anyone who needs the proverbial defibrillator paddles. Where to put it? With your epic crystal collection. Copper intensifies the potency of most stones, clearing the channels of communication between you and your mineral friends. So when to use it? When it's time to pack up an old idea of who you are and ship it out for good. Move on renewed with copper. That's totally that 10 of Swords element. Energize your whole world. And then, interesting enough, we have 2 tektites here. So the first one we have, and if you are not familiar with what a tektite is, it's essentially like, it's a meteorite. It comes from beyond Earth's atmosphere and it comes crashing down. So moldavite is an especially fascinating one to read about. And so who needs it? Spiritual seekers, extraterrestrials trapped in the human bodies. I can't say that word. Forgive me. There it is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I know I'm going to mess it up. But also Aquarian. So this is a really good like starseed stone, honestly. And so where to put it? In the middle of your forehead during meditation, altars, alien landing sites. When to use it? When you feel too grounded or disconnected from spirit. Moldavite is all about operating at a higher frequency. When you are looking for more wow and woe in your life. On the meditation cushion and beyond. Explode your perceptions with Moldavite. Transform your life on earth. So yeah, moldavite is a very high frequency stone. Everybody, there's like a million videos on YouTube here that you can watch that talk about it. Everybody has different ideas about it. There's also, you have to be aware with moldavite that there's a lot of fakes out there on the market. Moldavite comes from the Czech Republic, and so there's certain physical features about moldavite that you should look for to know if it's real or not. Such as, the surface of the stone, it shouldn't be shiny or look wet. There's a certain quality about it. You should be able to look inside the moldavite because it is, formed from a meteorite crashing into Earth that formed it as this crazy green glass. And also the color of it shouldn't be a super vibrant green. It should be kind of a darker, more olivey green. There should be kind of swirling patterns inside of it as well as bubbles, and not uniformly perfectly round bubbles always. There should be elongated bubbles, all that kind of stuff. Again, I have a moldavite necklace, so I know a little bit about it. Point being, it's a crazy stone. Everybody reacts differently to it, and it usually having it means you're shaking shit up in your life. It's going to change things around you for sure. So there's a little moldavite small lesson for you guys. So the other stone we have is Libyan gold tektite. So again, this is another one. So it's from the Sahara Desert. It's these crazy pieces of yellow glass that just appeared there 28 million years ago. So who needs it? The navel-gazing and brooding. Binge watchers, anyone looking to hit the street with some extra swagger. Cancers. So where to put it? Hold Libyan gold tektite or this card at your will center or just above the navel. So we're talking about the solar plexus chakra. And set some goals. Seriously, make a list. Then call on the fiery, beyond ancient energy of this stone to help you break through the burning desire to binge watch the day away. When to use it? When your get up and go has ghosted you. Banish your blah. So this is all about, again, renewing your energy. I feel like, coming out of a stale situation, again, moving on out of this ending and into a new beginning, full speed ahead with the Fool. So let's go ahead now and talk about the last card that I pulled for you guys, which is the card that I pulled with the intention of, what what do you need to work on for your personal development here in the month of September? And so we have card 27, Resilience, Burn Away the Past. That is just your theme here, guys. I'm telling you, with that 10 of Swords being that first energy that comes up. So let's go ahead and talk more about this. You know, obviously it's releasing things from the past, burning it away, moving forward. You know, the girl of resilience is relaxed. She's impassive. She impassively strokes and stirs the flames of her past at her feet. In her crowded room of memories, she fans the flames without fear of letting go of events, ideas, people, and places that once defined her. She is comfortable in her room and is not leaving her space. The smoke does not overcome her. The window is open and a branch of the tree of life reaches in to guide her always to heightening clarity and wisdom. When resilience appears, it is time to stroke the fires of your past and release that which no longer serves you. Know that to rise like a phoenix, it is necessary to dive into the flames. Be warmed and confident in the light that comes from burning away and releasing the bad and the good of the past. Release it all to be reborn with the inner flame. So yeah, again, it totally goes into what I've been seeing here in your cards. It's time for you to, again, reflect on your past, burn it away, and move forward and start again. And so for each one of these cards, there is a ritual that is involved with it. So if you guys are interested in doing this ritual to help you work through this, I will have it here up on screen so that you guys can read it. You know, pause this video if you need be, write this down if you want to do it. And so I'll just give you a couple more seconds to do all that. Okay, so let me give one last look over your cards. So I definitely think it's interesting, you know, definitely check out some tektites that might be interesting for you. Maybe you guys are starseeds, maybe you resonate with that. Maybe you should do some more research into like aliens and all that kind of cool stuff. I know I enjoy it. So yeah, as far as, you know, your romance sector goes, it kind of just depends on your own situation. Again, I feel like understand strengths, weaknesses, dominance, submissive, shake things up, try something new. You might have a decision to make in the romance sector, and maybe the sense of smell will help you in that for some reason. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe pay attention to red flowers. And again, for your career, material world, I feel like, again, you're working on letting things go, and it's going to free you up to, I think, pursue a passion. Maybe it's creative in nature. Work on that. Help other people work on their creative projects. Again, embrace your intuitive side, your Empress energy. It's all here working for you because we have that abundance with the sun. Your Fool's journey is beginning again because you're putting in that work to release and move forward. So if this reading resonated for you guys, please do leave a like on this video. Comment down below what you thought about it. You know, if you want to come back later on in the month of September to let me know how things are shaping up, you know, reviewing this reading and all that good stuff, I would love to see you guys down in the comments. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your August, and I will see you for more videos in September. Have a great day, guys.